What's up, LA? Welcome back to Brock and Alex on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. I'm Alex Curry here with Brock Farine. Thank you for spending your midday in LA with us, whether you're tuning in on the radio, the Odyssey app, or watching us live on YouTube. We appreciate you being here. And we love when you're a part of the conversation and when you're a part of the show. So if you're watching the live streams, get in the chat at The Fan LA. You can also call us at any time at 855-97-LA-FAN. How are we feeling, LA, about the Tarek Skubal trade and the Dodgers going all in for this three-peat? Call us at 855-975-2326. But right now, it is time to bring in producer Shay.
The sports world is talking, but what's actually worth talking about in LA? Producer Shay brings the stories. Now Brock and Alex give the city your verdict. Do you care, LA?
Happy Monday, LA. Do you care, LA, with producer Shay? I'm producer Shay. We got Brock and Alex in the other room. We're ready to go. Just in case, you don't know. They're looking at three of us. We got voices here. You don't know.
I love your intros to yourself, though, Shay. They're so great.
And they're never the same.
I'm
either.
also really proud of you guys. If you heard what Shay sounded like this morning in our morning meeting, he is. I got to give you an A+ on your performance right now.
Thank you, guys.
I'm really impressed.
Yeah, if there's a cough here and there, I'm sorry, but I doubt it's going to happen.
You're doing great.
It's going to happen. But yes, we were at Six-Man this weekend, and it was pretty crazy. Lost in the final round. If you were listening to us last week, Six-Man is a volleyball tournament that happens in Manhattan
And who
Beach.
won? Women's Soho.
Who won women's?
Soho. My team. Yeah,
really?
they're
No
champs.
way. You see, I didn't know about that. I'm on the men's side, you know.
That's not very supportive of you, Shay.
We don't have a women's team, so that's why I didn't know. The North End doesn't have a women's team, but did the boys team win? I remember you guys.
No,
you guys
women's
went,
team.
Yeah, okay. Because I know the boys team went out.
They
in the
won
first day, right?
15-0.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
That's sweet. That's
Yeah,
sweet.
absolutely
All right.
dominated.
On to Who You Care, LA, guys. The segment where I tell Brock and Alex different stories from around the sports world, and they tell me if they care from a LA perspective. So Wemby, he's getting his own Nike shoes.
Woo!
So Victor Wembanyama signed his long-term extension just recently, and then he was able to actually get a signature deal as well. So the deal comes after Wembanyama signed his 5-year, $252 million extension with the Spurs. The 22-year-old averaged 25 points, 11.5 rebounds, and a league-leading 3.8 blocks last season, which I'm sure he'll do again next season. Do you care, LA?
Wow.
I don't believe the shoe has been designed yet because I've been searching for the past 2 days to see a mock-up. So I think now that process has started.
Okay.
They have to nail this because Wembanyama, despite losing in the finals, is the face of the league for the foreseeable future. He is young. He is a freak of nature. He is likable. He is marketable. He is equal parts modern-day basketball with old school basketball mindset. Nike has to absolutely nail this.
They have the ability, because obviously Jordan is still their biggest brand over at Nike, making them billions. Would it be like hundreds of millions of dollars a year? And as you said, he is the face of the league. He's so exciting. The way that he plays, he cares. He made the NBA All-Star game watchable this year, and he's only 22 years old, you guys. I care because I'm happy for him. He plays the game right. He has the right mentality. And this is a young man that I would love to see just continue to rise, and it's the perfect face of the league.
And from a Nike standpoint, you bring up the Jordan thing. Jordan is one of a kind, and his shoe is going to be alive forever as far as we're concerned. But there is a massive gap in shoes that players love, and therefore a gap in shoes that fans want to wear.
Yeah.
The most popular shoe right now, it might still be Kobe's.
Yeah, I was going to say, I see
wear,
so many Kobe's.
Because I know the second
Mambas.
most worn shoe is actually Sabrina Ionescu's shoe. Sabrina Ionescu, who plays for the Liberty of the WNBA, because Nike just has not been able to nail a signature shoe.
Yeah.
And here's an opportunity for them to make something that people latch onto. I mean, Steph Curry had his shoe with Under Armour for a while, but obviously that's not a Nike shoe. There's been a significant gap. I would say the Kyrie's had some steam for a little bit, but then he started tweeting things.
But is Mamba its own brand, or is it
It's
Nike?
a Nike brand.
It is a Nike brand.
I believe it's a subsidiary of Nike.
Jordan is with Nike.
we know that.
It's been a significant gap since Nike's nailed one.
Well, and Sabrina
hopefully
was
this is it.
Kobe's kind of like mentee. So that's almost like the same like umbrella.
Tree, yeah. No, you're right. So we definitely care, Shay,
we care.
And Nike's got to
I
nail
hope they crush it.
Yeah.
I hope they crush it.
Yeah, I hope they don't go too crazy with the shoes.
Why? Go ham.
Nah, recently they've
Go
been
ham.
doing these weird, like futuristic, the Jaws. I didn't really like those. They've just been doing too much. Like
it's whatever
they need to go back
Wemby's
to,
style is. No, it's whatever Wemby's style is. He has to figure out what he wants like to be like the future of the league in terms of shoes.
That's what they say, but I feel he'll have a lot of say in it. But at the same time, it's always that big room that's going to say what everyone else thinks.
There's a lot going on with these John
Morant
Morant shoes, and also John Morant acting like an absolute idiot off the court doesn't really help his case. And now that he's been sent to Portland, no one's going to be rocking
they look
that
like
shoe.
Soccer
so
shoes.
yeah, these look very extremely European.
Yeah, they look like soccer
shoes. Is the best way to put it.
Yeah,
exactly.
All right. What's next?
On to the next one, guys. USC Notre Dame rivalry returns in 2030. So
okay.
They'll renew their rivalry with a 4-game series beginning in 2030. The next game will be week 1, 2031, and then in 2032 and 2023 or 2033, games will also take place within the first 3 weeks. The reason why they're going to happen in the first weeks, USC athletic director says that they want to play them early so they can better manage their Big Ten schedule and prioritize player health. So it's coming back. We all love it. Do you care?
It is not about prioritizing player health.
Yeah.
I will translate that regarding if we lose to Notre Dame at the end of the year, it's going to ruin our CFP hopes. So we want to play this game as quickly as possible. And also we want to play this game early because we don't want to play at Notre Dame every other year when it's cold because we always lose in the cold because we're an LA team. So why I'm going to say we don't care is because even though it's on the books, there is so much that can happen in 3 months of college football nowadays. If they cared about this rivalry,
4 years away,
they could put this on the books next year. An excuse that teams always use in college football is these schedules are made so far in advance, which is true. Teams drop and add games on a whim every single year. That can be done. If this series mattered to the schools as much as it mattered to the fans and the players, they would be able to play this game starting next season. Not this 2026 season. Next season, meaning 2027. The fact that they pushed it to 2030 lets me know they don't really care about this thing. So we do not care.
No, this is like to all the fans that like love the rivalry. It's like, here, now you can stop talking about it. You kind of shut up about it because look, we're going to do it in 4 years. It's like, excuse me, what? Like, this is so silly. This is so silly.
There are 8th graders right now that are going to be playing in this rivalry. I do not care about it.
No, absolutely not. I don't care. That's insane. Okay. What else we got?
On to the next one, guys. So it's funny. I saw a tweet about this. So have you guys seen Sopranos?
Yeah.
So a tweet right now, they had like the score of this game playing in the background of it, and it was like the last time like Sopranos, like because he was a fan of football.
Yeah.
So if you're a Sopranos fan, that's a big deal. I don't know, some small little hit for that.
What kind of bridge are you trying to connect?
Yeah,
to?
well, no, I need a visual here, Shay. I need a visual.
I'll show you guys the tweet.
I need a visual to understand what you're talking about.
I'm not really sure how to explain it to you guys, but the game is
what?
playing on in the background, and like it shows him listening to the game.
To like a USC Notre Dame game? Is that what you're talking about?
Exactly.
But like a past one.
Yes.
And they're just bringing it back. So they're just rolling it back. It's like a flashback.
It was happening while the show was coming out.
Yeah.
It was the rivalry was a thing while the show was coming out.
Yes.
So they're bringing it back.
Okay.
It was a funny video. It was a big video back in the day too.
Okay.
Next one, guys. So the Brewers ace rips Angel Stadium mound. So who's the Brewers ace? It's Jacob Miz. So he called the pitching mound at Angel Stadium awful and said it may have created an injury risk during Sunday's game. He said the grounds for you to fix. He wanted to have the grounds for you fix the mound multiple times, saying his 6'7" frame was landing on a very dry, rock-hard spot. His fastball velocity was down, and he was not at all anywhere near what he was his past couple of games. Do you care, LA?
Yeah, don't blame the grounds crew. I will say firsthand, the Angels grounds crew works their butts off, okay? They are there sunrise to sunset, and they are working so hard on that mound. So for you to come and to like blame like not having your velo right and not having the right touch on your ball on the Angels grounds crew, get out of here. Absolutely not. They crush it. Angels grounds crew crush it. So, no. Okay. Hour number 2 coming up next. What's up, LA? Welcome back to Brock and Alex on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. I'm Alex Curry here at Brock Vereen. Thank you for spending your midday in LA with us, whether you're tuning in on the radio, the Odyssey app, or watching us live on YouTube. We appreciate you being here, and we love when you're a part of the conversation. So if you're watching the live streams, get in the chat at The Fan LA. You can also call us at any time at 855-97-LA-FAN. Happy trade deadline day, you guys. MLB trade deadline goes until 3 p.m. Pacific. We're going to keep you updated on any and all the moves that are going down. The Dodgers have made 2 major moves already ahead of the trade deadline. Obviously, the blockbuster trade that went down yesterday, getting 2-time Cy Young winner Tarik Skubal, and then today reacquiring catcher Ben Rortvedt. Angels are sellers, you guys.
Everything must go.
Soriano just got dealt. Joe Adell
to
just
Cleveland.
got dealt.
Suter to Atlanta.
I'm just waiting, you guys. Is the day gonna come when they trade Mike Trout?
It's not going to be today, but it's going to be within the next 2 years. Maybe it is going to be today. You know what?
Should they? For Mike Trout's
no better time
sake,
than the present.
I hope he goes somewhere where he has a chance to play in the postseason. Mike Trout has only been in 2 postseason games, and he got they lost both of them back in 2014. He has never won a playoff game as one of the greatest players of our generation.
It's one of those things where I don't want Mike Trout to be Clyde Drexler. Stick with me here.
Okay.
My dad and any basketball fan of that generation used to tell 12-year-old me that Clyde Drexler was the man. Clyde Drexler was this. Clyde Drexler was that. And then I would ask them, okay, well, how many championships? How many MVPs? How many this? How many that? Like, no, you had to be there to see it. And Mike Trout has plenty of accolades, but until he gets the team accolades, the personal ones are just going to fall on deaf ears. I don't want to have to convince kids half my age, little snot-nosed 12-year-olds waiting in line to get their hair cut, how great Mike Trout was, and they're going to ask me,
how to be snot-nosed.
Well, what did he do? Because I was snot-nosed waiting in line trying to tell my dad something about Clyde Drexler, a guy that I learned about 30 seconds before he said his name. And I just don't want Mike Trout, who by all means seems to be an awesome guy, has contributed a ton to baseball, and is just a phenomenal player. I don't want to have to explain to future generations how special he was. I want him to have something tangibly team-related. But, until he asks for a trade, the Angels have proven, well, if you're not going to ask to leave, we're just going to keep you here. Speaking of West Coast teams, or California teams, by the way, San Francisco just traded left-handed pitcher Robbie Ray to San Diego. San Francisco season obviously kind of over. San Diego is 4 games above 500 right now, so a little bit of a wild card push. Robbie Ray 10-6 with a 3.08 ERA. Sorry to derail the Trout conversation, but
that's fine. Always interesting
popped up
when it's a divisional trade.
Yeah.
There's 11 games between them right now, but trading within the division is always
Okay.
Are you just hey, you have a better chance to go catch the Dodgers, so just go? I mean, I don't know.
As long as it takes time.
Dodgers have a 10-game lead over Arizona, an 11-game lead over the Padres, and a 22-game lead over San Francisco. As you mentioned, the Giants just making that trade. But we're going to keep you updated on any and all the trades that go down today. It is the MLB trade deadline day with the biggest trade of the weekend happening yesterday when the Dodgers got 2-time Cy Young winner Tarik Skubal. And if you guys have watched the Dodgers social media, if you have not, I highly recommend it. They did a behind-the-scenes video of Skubal coming to Dodger Stadium because the trade went down yesterday. He was at the game yesterday.
Yeah.
So that tells me they knew this was going down way before it was actually obviously solidified. But the love that you saw on everyone's face when they were meeting, the excitement, the joy, not only on Skubal's face, but Ohtani, Yamamoto, Mookie, Freddie, Dave Roberts, they knew that they just robbed Detroit. Like, it was like, oh, we gave up potential in 3 prospects for proven talent, a 2-time Cy Young winner.
I also felt bad for Emmett Sheehan in the situation. We'll talk more about the Boston series and how dreadful it was later in the show as we look ahead toward the Cubs series that starts tonight. But Emmett Sheehan in the first inning had control issues, settled a little bit in the second inning, and then the third inning, everything just fell apart, and he gets yanked from the game. I'm not sure the exact moment that Skubal showed up, but the broadcast showed Skubal during the commercial break after Sheehan got yanked. So it was just, it was so poetic and really more of a metaphor, I guess. Like, Sheehan is walking off of the mound with his head hung low after giving up 3 home runs in the same inning. They cut to commercial. They come back, and it's Tarik Skubal emerging from the clubhouse into the dugout, joking with Dave Roberts. And it's like, that stings.
They didn't even care that they were getting swept, absolutely destroyed by Boston yesterday. It was like, did you just see who walked into the dugout and through the clubhouse? We just got the 2-time Cy Young winner. Are you seeing this? Is everybody else seeing what I'm seeing? Because I'm kind of freaking out here, man.
And producer Shay was at the game yesterday, and he said the Detroit Skubal jerseys were out in full effect in that stadium.
That's a very bright orange.
Yeah. But like,
see from anywhere.
You guys, he is one of the greatest arms. He is considered, like, obviously 2-time Cy Young winner, coming off of the surgery on his elbow where he got loose bodies removed, which, as the Dodgers are very familiar with right now, with Edwin Diaz and Blake Snell having that same surgery, which is why I think the Dodgers were able to get him on such a deal.
Yeah.
And you know what? Some people might say it's like, yeah, but that's the future of the Dodgers. Like, you gave up 3 prospects. The Dodgers don't care. That's not what they're in the market for right now. The Dodgers are in the market for a 3-peat right now. They gave up potential for proven talent. They are in their dynasty championship window. They are in win now. They have no idea what next season is going to look like. We don't even know if we're going to have a full season next year. We might even have a salary cap. And who's going to be affected by that the most? The Dodgers. So right now, even if Skubal is a rental because he becomes a free agent after this season, if the Dodgers are able to 3-peat now that they got Skubal, it's going to be worth it. Plus, don't forget, we were talking about it last week, Shohei Ohtani was shut down from pitching activities. So the fact that you lose Shohei Ohtani, you don't know when you're going to get Blake Snell back. I mean, he's close. You don't know what Tyler Glasnow is going to look like when he comes back. Those are 3 of your top pitchers that you were unsure about heading into the postseason. They had to go out and get the best arm available, and they went and got the 2-time Cy Young winner in Tarik Skubal. This was an incredible A-plus trade once again for the Dodgers.
And even with Glasnow, Snell, and Ohtani, there's no guarantee that one or all of those 3 remain fully healthy through a World Series run. The back spasms with Glasnow, this is his second time attempting to come back. He tried earlier. It flared up. He's trying now and it hasn't flared up, but you have that in the back of your head. Blake Snell, just over the past couple years, has just been perennially injured, and you also need insurance there. And Shohei, this whole season has just been marred with injury, and you have to play it safe. This is a move that really the Dodgers, if given the opportunity, they would be foolish not to make it. They put an offer out there. I still don't even feel it was their best offer, but if no one had one better, then you're going to roll with it. The fact that you can land a 2-time Cy Young winning pitcher who, yes, it has loose bodies, but by no means is old, and if re-signed, can be at the Dodgers for quite some time without giving up an active MLB player is phenomenal. So yes, 3 top 30 prospects, outfielder Zaire Hope, ranked as the Dodgers' 4th best outfielder. Right-handed pitcher River Ryan, 27. Elbow injury led him to not even pitch last year. At the beginning of the year, he looked great. There was questions on whether he would be called up when the Dodgers were initially running into pitching woes. Of course, that did not happen. And now he is shipped out to Detroit. And right-handed pitcher Brady Smith, who through 30 starts in the minors is 0 for 10 with a 4.72 ERA. That is a trade you make 100 times out of 100. And to your point of the impending lockout, if they can't come to an agreement of some kind. Of course, the MLBPA is saying, no, we are not having a salary cap, and the organizations are saying there will be a salary cap. You have to somewhat plan for the worst case scenario. And if there is a salary cap, you want Tarek Skubal already on the books, because that makes it easier to find a way. Yeah, to move whatever the MLB needs the Dodgers to move, but they can't come to you and say, hey, that guy you just extended, you have to get rid of him now. No, sorry, we already paid him. So I'm anticipating an announcement of an extension before the year's over, because if I know that, I'm sure Andrew Friedman knows that.
Oh, for sure. And Dave Roberts was actually asked about it, and this is what he had to say about Skubal.
Yeah, I think obviously you can feel the energy, the excitement, the buzz, and this was a different year in the sense that it was Skubal or nothing. I think essentially where we have a lot of good players, a lot of good depth, and already, and so there wasn't a whole lot of in typical years there's a lot of speculation and guys wondering where they're going to land if something's going to happen. But I think this year, even with this addition, we obviously got a whole lot better, but, guys are going to be the guys and the roles are the roles. And, we're just, like I said, we're just thrilled.
And once the Ohtani news broke last week that he was getting shut down from baseball activities, you just heard Dave Roberts say it was Skubal or nothing. And it's so funny because Dave had been asked about the Tarek Skubal trade for the last month, and he had a couple different approaches about it. At first, he was like, yeah, that would be great. And like, he kind of like made a comment where you're like, whoa, a manager's talking about a possible potential trade. That's crazy. And then I think he realized, like, now we're understanding, like, that was the only guy they were going after, that it was a possibility, and they didn't know what they were going to have to give up for it. He kind of retracted, and I remember another soundbite he gave was, well, I don't really want to talk about it now because I just want to focus on who we have here, and I don't want our guys thinking and getting nervous about, they might be one of the trade pieces. Mm-hmm. I just want everyone to focus, and I don't know, if we get them, great. The way that his responses change, we've talked about it a lot. He's one of the few managers that just always gives you something. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's great for us because the soundbite's awesome, but there's also been times where I'm sure he's like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have given that much to you guys. But he's so awesome, and that's just Dave Roberts. So let's look at how Tarek Skubal fits into the Dodgers rotation, because Skubal gives the Dodgers another ace. Yeah. When everybody is healthy, you guys, on this Dodgers rotation, he makes this the best rotation in baseball right now, and quite possibly you could argue one of the greatest assembled we have ever seen in the game.
Yeah, you sit here and you look at the rotation right now. If Ohtani is on ice for the foreseeable future, hopefully for a very long time, we'll see how it actually goes. Right now, you have Yamamoto and Wrobleski. If we're judging off of arms you would trust come playoff time, it's Yamamoto and Justin Wrobleski. Ideally, Roki, who has looked phenomenal in his past 3 starts, would be reliable if there was an injury or as a member of the bullpen. Eric Lauer, not sure how he fits, but he's healthy and he has performed well. And then Emmett Sheehan, unfortunately, after last night, probably gets bumped to the bullpen and doesn't really even get used in the bullpen. But when you plan ahead for an ideal situation where everyone is healthy, Yamamoto, Wrobleski, Ohtani, Glasnow, Snell, and the new addition of Skubal. Yamamoto, Skubal, Ohtani, Glasnow, Snell are aces in just about every other major league organization.
And here, too.
And here. Wrobleski is an ace in probably 15 or so. I'll say half of the league. Like, the fact that all of that is in your arsenal is terrifying, and I'm glad I root for the Dodgers.
So when you look, you just kind of went through the right now, right? Mm-hmm. Which is who we know is healthy. Yamamoto, Skubal, who is slated and reported to be on the mound for the Dodgers tomorrow.
Let's go.
In Chicago. Like, they are wasting no time. Let's keep it rolling, baby. We need you like yesterday. So Yamamoto, Skubal, Wrobleski, Sasaki, and Lauer.
Yeah.
So that's right now. But once, say, everybody's healthy, which is crazy, as you said, Yamamoto, Skubal, Ohtani, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow.
Yeah.
That means you have Roki Sasaki, Eric Lauer, and Emmett Sheehan just kind of like there as backup. That's wild.
The Los Angeles Dodgers are acquiring left-hander Chris Bubik. I believe it's Bubich. Someone please double-check that for me. Chris Bubik in a trade with the Kansas City Royals. So the Dodgers are not done.
There we go.
The Dodgers are not done. That was reported 2 minutes ago from Jeff Passan. Another quick one before we jump right back into rotational conversation. Miami is trading their catcher Liam Hicks to Tampa Bay. Like I said, we're not just monitoring the LA teams, we're monitoring teams that the Dodgers may face. I think it comes down to Tampa Bay, or I mean, if Boston keeps playing this way, we'll see. But I think it comes down to Tampa Bay and the Yankees as far as who the Dodgers play in the World Series. Liam Hicks has been phenomenal, batting .282, 14 home runs, and 100 hits. Okay, back to the rotation question. Yeah, it's so hard to project, but it's exciting to project, right? Like,
yeah.
There are infinite versions of who will be healthy once playoff time comes around, once October comes around. But at least we know where the standings are regarding trust, right? Mm-hmm. Injuries happen. So the way I see it, this is an exciting aspect of Sheehan's already out of the rotation. Lauer has been among the most reliable pitchers, but because he is not a velo guy, I wonder how that affects his bullpen probability. Do you want a guy coming out of the bullpen that throws a 77-mile-per-hour curveball? I'm sure Dave Roberts...
It could be a matchup situation.
Yeah, maybe a matchup situation, but you trust him, which is what's important. Yeah. He has proven, okay, if a situation, if the dominoes fall a certain way, I can look to Eric Lauer
he can be a long
say,
relief.
Go get him. And Eric Lauer can go do that. Roki Sasaki has proven he can be a bullpen guy.
The big glove's been helpful.
I love the massive glove. I wish it was twice as big. I want the biggest glove that can legally be out there.
I think that is. That has to be the biggest one out there.
It can't get much bigger.
No.
The impossibility, and I'm talking facetiously as an opponent of the Dodgers, the impossibility of looking at a team in a playoff series that has Yamamoto, Wroblewski, Ohtani, Glasnow, Snell, and Skubal is terrifying, and that's what we hope to get. Yeah. But by listing all of these names, the fact is, even if two of these guys go down or can't be trusted for a full 6-7 inning start, you have options.
It's insane.
There is an unlimited number of options here.
It's absolutely insane. And Dave Roberts was actually talking about this being one of the greatest rotations. Take a listen.
I haven't done the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 side by side, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to see any, of the guys that I've seen. I don't want to kind of put it against, I'm not talking about the Braves in the 90s, just as far as what I've seen, this is as good as I've seen, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that you could say that would tell, if you literally listed any of these guys, you'd be like, okay, so who's the ace? Right? Because again, it would be Skubal hands down normally, but he's coming off of the loose bodies in his elbow. Yamamoto has World Series MVP. He has been the ace for the Dodgers this season. Shohei Ohtani was for the first part of the season until all of these injuries started to creep up. Blake Snell is a Cy Young winner, but obviously also coming back from the loose body surgery. Tyler Glasnow is projected to be one of the greatest pitchers in the league, but he's also kind of been plagued with injuries. So a lot of this is going to come down to who can stay healthy come October. We got a couple more months until we get there, but the Dodgers are so locked in and so set. Like, it is... I don't want to say it's laughable because it's what every team should be doing, going out and trying to get the best possible player available for whatever need you had. And even though the Dodgers have all of these insane names that I just went through, you still don't know when Ohtani's coming back. Yeah. Blake Snell's still on his rehab assignment. We haven't seen him in a big league game yet. Tyler Glasnow is still slowly making his way back from the back spasm. So once you lost Ohtani, or not lost, he was just shut down from baseball activity, you had to go out and you had to make this move.
And if no one else was going to put together a better offer Why not the Dodgers? The fact that people want to blame a team for trying to be better, that's what I guess that's, if I could boil it down to the simplest piece, what confuses me so much about teams' anger is if you ask a team, was your team capable of trading for Tarek Skubal? They would say yes. Would you want your team to be the best version of themselves, or would you want them to pass up on bringing in someone who can make them better? They would say, well, no, I want them to be the best version of themselves. Well, that's just what the Dodgers are doing. They just do it at a higher frequency than anyone else. Like I mentioned just a moment ago, Chris Bubic traded from Kansas City to the Dodgers. Bubic has been injured heavily this year. He's currently on the 60-day IL. He's been there since July 1st. So if he makes an appearance, it would be later in the year. He only started 9 games this year before injury, 4.11 ERA, 51 strikeouts through the 51 innings he's thrown. So again, this just adds to the depth of Dave Roberts, and if we need him come fall, he's there.
Yeah. So again, we don't know when Shohei Ohtani is going to be for sure back. However, Dave Roberts was asked about Ohtani's availability come October, and this is what he had to say.
I think the thing is that obviously, we don't have that. We're not going to have that luxury to the rehab situation. So I think it's going to look a little bit like what we did last year, and so go from there. And then once we get to a point, in the middle of September, we'll have a better idea of what it looks like.
So that means he's going to be on a pitch count. That means he's going to be getting ramped up in September, and they're just like, he's not going to be a dependable, long, stretched out starting pitcher like he was at the start of the season.
Which is fine because of how many arms that
are
already there, right?
You just got Skubal, you're fine.
If Shohei Ohtani was not able to pitch for the remainder of the season, the Dodgers still have the best rotation in baseball. So if Ohtani gets to a point where he says, I'm healthy, but I'm not 7 innings every start healthy, I'm 4 innings, okay, then we'll use you for 4 innings, whether that's to start the game as a super opener for someone else, or if someone comes out there and doesn't look the best version of themselves, or if it's just matchup dependent. Like, the worst case scenario is Shohei Ohtani doesn't pitch at all for the remainder of the season, and the Dodgers would still be in line to win the World Series. That does not affect their odds at all. The best case scenario is he comes back and he's the best version of himself, but I think we're too late in the year and we're past that. So the most likely scenario is Ohtani comes back and can give you half of a general start. Okay. We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take any version of Ohtani that we can get. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break here, but when we come back, I am so excited to get Dodgers beat writer for MLB.com. Sonia Chen is going to be joining the show. She wrote the article when the news broke that the Dodgers got Tarek Skubal, so she is with the team every single day, and I think with them in Chicago right now. So we're going to talk to Sonia when we get back. You're listening to Brock and Alex on the new 97.1 The Fan. What's up, LA? Welcome back to Brock and Alex on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. I'm Alex Curry here with Brock Vereen. Thank you for spending your midday in LA with us, whether you're tuning in on the radio, the Odyssey app, or watching us live on YouTube. We appreciate when you're part of the show. So if you're watching the live stream, get in the chat at The Fan LA. Happy trade deadline day. We've obviously been spending a lot of time talking about what our LA teams have done, but the Dodgers, you guys, making the biggest move of the trade deadline. So I am so excited to bring in our first guest of the day. She is on the Dodgers beat for MLB.com. She is with this team every single day. Sonia Chen, thank you so much for joining the show.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Oh, we appreciate it. Now, the Dodgers made the biggest move of the trade deadline, acquiring the reigning two-time AL Cy Young Award winner, Tarik Skubal. Take us into that clubhouse. What was the reaction when the news broke that it was official?
Well, we were in the clubhouse when the news broke on Saturday night, and it was a drone show night, so players were kind of on their way out. But, for the ones who were still there, a lot of them find out the same way that we do. You see it on social media, and then, there's a lot of excitement. So the next day we got more of a sense of the team reaction, and it's at the point where, at this point we expect a lot of the Dodgers in the offseason and at the trade deadline. So it's not something that's necessarily surprising that they make this big move, go out and get the best player available at the trade deadline. But it still, kind of brings an additional boost to a team that's already obviously in good spirits, back-to-back champions and one of the best records in the majors.
Sonia, what was the sense of opposing offers for the Dodgers? Because the issue with other fans who want to find reasons to hate this lovely team in LA is that this offer may not seem impressive on paper. So is this offer more impressive than we think, or are other teams just not being as competitive with Skubal?
Yeah, I think that part of it is the perception of going into the trade deadline. You see a talent like Tarik Skubal, and obviously the price tag is going to be very high, and so I think people were expecting it to be like through the roof. And I do think that what the Dodgers gave up is bigger than what maybe some fans of the opposing teams think. I mean, a lot of people have been pointing to River Ryan. He's about to turn 28 years old. He still has prospect status, has an injury history, but this is a guy who the Dodgers were really high on when he was in the organization. They did fully expect him to be part of the future and had hoped that, maybe if the injuries had gone a different way this year, he would be part of their current rotation. So he's someone who I think there's a lot of upside, and he hasn't gotten to show that in the majors beyond 4 starts 2 years ago. But he's someone who, he's injured right now, hamstring, but he is major league ready. So having a controllable starting pitcher of his caliber is a pretty big deal. And then Zaire Hope, one of the top outfield prospects in baseball. And he's in the Dodgers system, or was their number 5. But their system is so deep that, having a guy like that does mean a lot. And then another top 30 prospect in Smith, this is a big package for a rental. And especially when you factor in that Skubal was earning $32 million in salary this year. So, if the Dodgers gave up a lot, assumed that contract, I think it's a bigger package than maybe it seems.
So as you just mentioned, Skubal's a free agent at the end of the season. So this very possibly could be a rental in this push for a three-peat right now. But have you heard anything, and do you know if the Dodgers are going to try to keep Skubal long-term?
I think that knowing the Dodgers, they will always try, but also knowing that, Skubal's agent is Scott Boras, it's very unlikely to me that
I forgot.
Exactly. Very unlikely that there's any extension before you hit the open market. I think the possibility of a lockout, of course, could possibly change that calculus.
Yep.
And there's a chance that the Dodgers just make some sort of offer that, their side can't refuse. But I would expect Skubal to go to free agency.
The Dodgers also make a move for catcher Ben Rortvedt, a familiar face. What was the thinking behind getting some insurance behind the plate?
Yeah, so I think the Dodgers do feel pretty confident in Will Smith returning before the end of the season. Probably not until September, it seems. But then Dalton Rushing is also dealing with this minor arm issue. He scratched from the lineup yesterday. So I think with all those factors, and then Eliezer Alfonso, rookie, being the backup catcher, who as of now, if Rushing needs to miss some more time, would need to start some more games. Having someone like Rortvedt in the system who's familiar with the team, with several members of the pitching staff, is, there's kind of no downside to that. And even if they don't add him to the active roster immediately, having him in the minor leagues, should anything else happen, is just important depth for the team.
Sonia, once we got the Shohei Ohtani news last week that he was getting shut down from baseball activities, we kind of had a feeling that, okay, the Dodgers might be more aggressive than we thought before to go get a starting pitcher. Obviously, they were. They went out and got the best in Skubal. But now what are you seeing and hearing about Shohei Ohtani and when we could possibly see him back on the mound this season?
Yeah, I think at this point with where we are in the season, he is in a place where he and the team recognize that he needs to start kind of making linear progress and ramping up. So the expectation is that this week he will start playing catch again.
Okay.
During the series in Chicago. So, that's a good start, but there is a progression there. It's unclear how much he'll need to throw catch before throwing bullpen sessions, how many bullpens he'll need to throw, whether he'll need to kind of do an up-down, simulate multiple innings before then facing hitters. And then once he does get to the point of facing hitters, I would expect it to look similar to how he built up last year, where he'll do it in major league games. They can't really afford to send him on a rehab assignment. But it'll have to be like an inning at a time, incremental. So it's obviously a step back. He's been out of pitching for long enough at this point that he has kind of lost his buildup.
Yeah.
But there is time in the season where if he doesn't have any more setbacks, then it should be doable to get him stretched out.
Sonia, the beauty of the timing of this trade deadline is it comes on the heels of a pretty bad showing of the Dodgers in the series against the Red Sox. Do you have any takeaways from this weekend, or is it more so, Tarek Skubal's here, let's move on?
I think it's one thing where you don't want to make too much of a regular season series. The play was very uninspiring, I think.
Yeah.
And you don't want to see that, press on beyond one series. But if you put it in the context of the second half, they won their first 4 series after the All-Star break. This one more than just a series loss getting swept. But, it's going to happen at some point. And then even Dave Roberts said yesterday, I think he said, this is probably the happiest I felt after being swept, which wasn't happy about the series, but more everything else that's going on. It didn't feel like what field meant as much as what was happening behind the scenes this weekend.
Yeah, Sonia, it was wild on the NBC broadcast. They were showing the game, but they were also showing once Skubal arrived and Dave Roberts and the behind-the-scenes video that the Dodgers put out of all the players seeing him and meeting him for the first time, and Dave Roberts in the dugout, just his face absolutely lighting up. So when you now look at this Dodgers rotation, and again, there's a lot of ifs with obviously Ohtani and Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow, but is this possibly the greatest rotation you've ever seen put together?
I think it has to be a contender. I think you look at, the 6-man rotation that they could have with everyone healthy. Yeah. Just the fact that you can have 6 starters of, that caliber is pretty unbelievable. And then you'll look at the postseason rotation they could have. Tyler Glasnow might be bumped to the bullpen.
It's insane.
And last year I think we were already having conversations about the postseason 4-man rotation. Yamamoto, Snell, Glasnow, Ohtani being one of the best of all time. This one with Skubal now, up there with Yamamoto as kind of a co-ace, I think even better. So I have a hard time making all-time comparisons because context of the times matters a lot to me, but it has to be up there.
Sonia, for any Dodger fan who decided this morning to start becoming a fan of baseball, what does Tarek Skubal bring, and do we know much about his personality and what he can bring off the diamond in the clubhouse?
Yeah, so, I mean, Tarek Skubal, back-to-back reigning Cy Young champion with the Cy Young Award winner with the Tigers. He not only is one of the most electric starting pitchers out there, but he's said to be a really good presence in the clubhouse. I think if you go back and look at the comments that he made after the trade news broke on Saturday night, just a very sincere person. So grateful for his time in Detroit, and he still seems to have this mindset of like, this team, you know, they brought me up and they kind of took a chance on me, like gave me more chances than I deserved, which sounds crazy coming from someone who is now as accomplished as he is, but he clearly does not take anything about his experience for granted. So I think that is something that should be a great fit in the Dodgers clubhouse, because they do look at the personality of the best players available in terms of talent, but they also understand that they need the right mix of players so that the team culture stays the same. And the team culture is very much, you know, everyone's working hard no matter how big a star you are. They're all working toward that same goal of winning a championship.
Sonia, it's so exciting. Now, Tarek Skubal immediately flew to LA yesterday after the trade was official the night before, and now it's being reported that we might see him on the mound tomorrow for the Dodgers. The way everything is moving so fast, how do you see him really fitting in and helping this Dodgers team that already is the World Series favorite?
Yeah, it's, you know, I can't imagine how he's feeling right now. This whole process has been to whirlwind, but at the same time, he's been hearing these trade rumors for a long time. So I think, you know, the change of scenery, I don't think that'll throw him. I feel like he's going to come out and make his Dodgers debut and, you know, probably look about as dominant as he's been this season. He really will do a lot, I think, to stabilize the rotation, with Ohtani pitching being on hold and, you know, seeing a little more from like Emmett Sheehan and Roki Sasaki, who have both been a little unpredictable this season, but in different ways. I think having someone like Skubal it obviously raises the ceiling, but then the floor too, like that group is so much better. And then a week after Skubal debuts, you're getting Blake Snell back, and a couple weeks after that, you're getting Tyler Glasnow. So I think there will just be a ripple effect.
Wait, so we're expected Blake Snell this week too, back in the Dodgers rotation? Is that what we're saying, maybe?
That should be next week, I believe. Blake Snell's going to make his second rehab start tomorrow. His final rehab start tomorrow.
Okay, that's what. Okay.
Okay.
It's looking good. Sonia, we appreciate you so much for coming on. Have so much fun in Chicago. We can't wait to see what this Dodgers team does.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. That is wild.
It's
like,
real now.
It's just like it's happening. Like
it's real now. Yeah.
Talk about like it's just like, hey, blink, you're here.
Yeah.
Trade goes down Saturday night. He is there Sunday for the afternoon game. He is now obviously full time with the team and making his Dodgers debut tomorrow.
I can't wait to see it. And the Cubs, of course, always bring in just an incredible atmosphere. Even back in the years where they were winning not many baseball games, it was an incredible atmosphere.
It's wild. Because I was just in Chicago and I went to Wrigleyville, and it has very similar, if you haven't been there, but you've been to San Diego, to like Petco Park vibes, where it's like in the middle of the city,
dropped in the middle of a city,
and just surrounded by bars, and the streets are blocked off, and everybody's just having the best time ever. The vibes are immaculate.
And even if Tarek Skubal wasn't a Dodger, this game would still be a sold out madness of excitement. Now that he is there, I will be tuned in.
It's going to be so much fun.
That's all I got to say. I will be tuned in.
I love having Sonia on, Dodgers beat writer for MLB.com. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, what did we learn from week 1 of Rams camp? That's coming up next here on Brock and Alex on the new 97.1 The Fan. What's up, LA? Welcome back to Brock and Alex on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. I'm Alex Curry here with Brock Vereen. Thank you for spending your midday in LA with us, whether you're tuning in on the radio, the Odyssey app, or watching us live on YouTube. We appreciate you being here. And you guys, at the top of the next hour, we are giving away a pair of four tickets, a pack of
pairs.
4 tickets to Wild Rivers Water Park. So make sure you stick around for that. But right now we are headed out to camp, you guys, because the Rams just finished their first week of training camp, and we've got a couple different storylines that are starting to come together. Now, obviously, the Rams have all the star power. They are the Super Bowl favorites. They have arguably the best roster heading into this season. But the first week is really more about seeing their depth, the development, and keeping key players healthy, which is why Myles Garrett has now missed 3 straight practices with a lower body, quote, soreness. And McVay has said it's just the team being very cautious. They're not worried. But anytime your big trade piece and the reigning defensive player of the year, is not in training camp, there's a little bit of concern, but I do believe that he is going to be just fine.
The reason Myles Garrett is out with soreness is because New Orleans has already lost their starting defensive tackle, Brian Brzee, for the season with injury. Chicago's starting safety, Kobe Bryant, who they gave $40 million to this offseason, coming over from Seattle, carted off practice this morning with a knee. San Francisco already lost wide receiver Ricky Pearsall for the season. He was coming off injury. Stribling is sidelined, and they lost their rookie edge, Mikhail Kamara, to an ACL. Still continuing, Mike Evans, also San Francisco wide receiver, missed practice today with a quad. Buffalo's safety, CJ Gardner-Johnson, calf injury. They're hoping it's not an Achilles. And lastly, Carolina has already lost 2 players in the first week of practice for the season. Their rookie wide receiver, Chris Brazell, tore his LCL, and edge Nick Scorton tore his ACL. So injuries happen, and you see so many injuries in those early parts of training camp.
Yeah.
It's
some of them
are right. Some of them are freak injuries. A lot of them are because you maybe needed to do a little bit of ramping up on your own before you hit the ground running. So it's a new way of thinking of, we're actually not just going to assume you guys took care of your bodies the way that you should, and we're going to slowly ease into this. And what comes with that is, if your star player that you're giving all the money in the world to says, I'm a little tight, sit your butt down and let us know when you're good, buddy.
Okay, I have a question, because you mentioned, obviously, another San Francisco injury. Are you on that whole, put on your tinfoil hat, the belief that all of the 49ers players that all got hurt, because it was a lot of soft tissue injuries, and they're right next to that plant, right? That puts out certain emissions. I mean, I haven't done the whole deep dive on it, that supposedly causes a lot of soft tissue injuries.
I'm not a believer, but I will say, if you are a believer, you got all the evidence you need. As far as conspiracies go,
Mike Evans just arrived and he's in. Well, no, where's their training camp?
This team is cursed.
Yeah,
but they do camp at their facility.
Oh,
so
okay,
they are by themselves.
Yeah, then they are right by. Oh no!
Speaking of training camps, for those who were on vacation before your kids go back to school, here is week 1 of the Rams camp.
Kay.
Quarterback Matthew Stafford looks great. Shocker. Backup quarterback battle between Stetson Bennett and Ty Simpson. Bennett is firmly number 2 right now, but Ty Simpson
Which makes
is getting
sense.
it makes total sense.
Yeah.
Simpson's getting more comfortable, and since the pads have come on, he's becoming more comfortable throwing the ball downfield.
But I have to ask, did we expect anything more? Because he also didn't have a lot of experience in college. That was one of the big things that came along with the shock. It was
he's right on
he
schedule.
hasn't played as many games that every other quarterback that's gotten drafted has.
He is right on schedule, and not until the preseason games will he really get a chance to leapfrog Bennett anyway. Wide receiver, 6th-round rookie CJ Daniels leaving his mark, pushing Jordan Whittington for wide receiver 3. Woo! Xavier Smith has kind of fallen out of the wide receiver 3 battle. He's not really repping with the 1s or the 2s, and he's even splitting punt return duties now with Kyron Williams. Tight end, Terrence Ferguson, in his 2nd year, is leaving his mark. He's been the standout of the tight end room, but they are expected to take all 5 tight ends with them to the final roster. The offensive line is a moving target, work to do, a lot of injuries. Alaric Jackson sitting out because of this medication he has for his blood clots. Keegan Trost has been hurt. David Questenberry has mainly been the left tackle. Defensively, Edge, Josiah Stewart, and Desjuan Johnson getting plenty of work, as Alex had already mentioned. Myles Garrett has been sitting out, and Byron Young has been managing his knee. Lastly, cornerback Cam Lampkin, who has been with the team as a practice squad player for the past 2 years. Reports are saying, credit Blaine Grisek of Sports Illustrated for this rundown. Reports are saying, other than Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson, he has been the best defensive back so far in camp.
Good for him. I love when a practice squad guy gets his opportunity and takes advantage. That's awesome.
He's taken full advantage of it. So that is your week 1 rundown of Rams camp.
So, okay, grade. If you had to grade what you saw, what would you give it?
A.
They're fine.
A.
They're just fine.
Yeah. If you had to be concerned about something, it's the offensive line, but I'll stick with an A.
And that's what Cynthia Freeland told us too, right? She's like, if we're watching anything, you got to protect your reigning MVP of Matthew Stafford, who's 38 years old. That O-line better be so tight, so tight. All right, you guys. Hour number 3 coming up next. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Brock and Alex. What's up, LA? Welcome back to Brock and Alex on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. I'm Alex Curry here with Brock Farine. Thank you for spending your midday in LA with us, whether you're tuning in on the radio, the Odyssey app, or watching us live on YouTube. We appreciate you being here, and we love when you are a part of the show. So if you're watching the live stream, get in the chat at The Fan LA. You can also call us at any time, and you're going to want to save this number because we're about to do a giveaway. 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-975-2326. Should we do that giveaway right now?
I would love to.
All right.
I would love it.
Call us right now for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to Wild Rivers Water Park in Irvine. All you got to do is be caller number 5, and you could be headed to Wild Rivers for more than 25 attractions. Just call us now at 855-975-2326. 855-975-2326. You could be in the oh my God, I love a lazy river.
Is there anything better than a lazy river?
The MGM Grand in Vegas, lazy river. With a drink in your hand.
Have not dipped my toes in that one.
That was a spot where, like,
specifically.
I think the one time my family went growing up, that was the hotel we stayed at. So it's just like burned in my memory from that. Wild. So caller number 5 right now, you guys, if you want to win a 4-pack to Wild Rivers Water Park, 855-975-2326. Good luck. Brock, what'd you do this weekend?
What did I do
What
this
did you do this week? We went straight top of the show. We went right into the Tarek Skubal news, so I didn't even get to ask.
Deals are
I haven't
happening.
seen you in like 5 days.
It's been far too long. What did I do this weekend? Oh, I saw Spider-Man. Spider-Man was great.
Yeah.
I admittedly was not even a big Spider-Man
You told me you were
person.
kind of done with the superhero movies.
I was out, and now I'm back in.
Really?
It is
Dude, it's been
phenomenal.
exploding at the box office.
I think they made $1 billion this
yeah,
weekend, like
no,
900-something million.
It went wild. Okay, and you know what? I finally saw Disclosure Day.
Okay, thoughts?
What was that ending?
I know, exactly.
What was that ending? It was
Exactly.
so good, and it was like, the build-up, oh my gosh, it's happening, and then it was like, to what?
It's
like,
over?
I don't want to say the last word that they said.
Right.
But like, my response to that was like, to what?
The best way I could sum up Disclosure Day is it presents itself like it's going to be about one thing.
Yeah.
But it's actually about being about the thing.
Yeah.
If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. The movie's not what you
it
think
was
it's
entertaining.
about. Yeah.
I love all things aliens, so I was like
You're in
extremely fascinated by it. And then like after watching it, like all of my feed was like, here's all the latest alien news. I was like, thank you, algorithm.
Thank you for listening.
I needed a moment like this to go down my alien rabbit hole.
Saw Spider-Man, loved every single second of it. Saturday, So Saturday and Sunday, now I remember what I did this weekend. I'm blanking for a second.
Welcome back, bro.
Saturday and Sunday with high school starting back up soon. Like I bring up every now and then, I work with a lot of kids in the area doing some training. So had a lot of sessions this weekend, thankfully in the morning before it got too hot. And then went over to my wife's grandma's house yesterday. And now we are here talking about a bunch of deals. What about yourself? I know I know your weekend didn't start off great.
No. You guys, I was on the struggle bus. I missed a couple days last week. I was down for the count. I am learning very quickly that when your child gets sick, you quickly get sick right after. So, but I thankfully feeling much better, was able to stop by. Not be there for the whole time, but I was able to stop by and support my Soho Sixers team.
Awesome.
And the women's team won gold, champions of the six-man, which was so awesome. Winning that championship game 15-0.
A little lopsided.
I mean, after watching the first game, I was like, oh, no one's going to beat us. Absolutely no one's going to beat us. I mean, I say us, I did not play. I was there for moral support, standing in the back, cleaning up everybody's water bottles after every game.
Still important.
But still very important. You know, it was there for the vibes. That's what I said. There for the vibes. But so much went down this weekend, you guys. Happy trade deadline day. MLB trade deadline goes until 3 p.m. Pacific. We're going to keep you updated on any and all the moves. There's already been so much going down today. Obviously, the Dodgers making a couple major moves ahead of the trade deadline. The biggest one dropping Saturday night. As we were just talking to Sonia Chen, she said a lot of the guys had left the clubhouse and were gone, and they were kind of hearing about it as they were getting ready to leave. And that was when they traded for two-time Cy Young winner Tarek Skubal. This morning, they reacquired catcher Ben Rotvet.
Yep.
And one more pitcher.
Oh, yes,
today.
yes. So much is happening.
Like within the last hour.
Chris Bubich of the Kansas City Royals was pitching at an all-star level in recent years. Thank you to BTS Nick, who played professional baseball, kicked down the door and gave us the full rundown on him.
Yeah.
Bubich is a Bay Area guy, so I'm sure he'll be happy to be back in California. Has spent the last 7 seasons with the Kansas City Royals, has pitched playoff innings, and he's halfway through his 60-day IL stint, meaning if he comes off the IL in time and remains healthy, potentially a starter that can give bullpen innings come playoff time.
Oh, that's great.
Big move.
Okay, which is funny. Okay, I think that like the Dodgers were able to get some of these arms due to injuries this season. And you know what? It just shows that the Dodgers, that they see the potential, but they're also able to work with guys in a way that a lot of other teams aren't to get them back to where they need to be.
Yeah, it's massive, and it shows the faith that Andrew Friedman and Dave Roberts have in their training staff, saying we can go out and acquire guys who are injured because we know you are going to put them in the best possible situation to get healthy, to remain healthy, and to eventually be able to contribute, whether it's toward the end of this season or next season. Whenever they're ready, we know they're going to be the best version of themselves.
So let's let this sink in again, because now it's been a couple days. Tarek Skubal is a Dodger, which is crazy when you think about just all of the other top tier talent, pitching talent that they have in this rotation. And we've been talking about it for the last month plus. Like, could you imagine? Well, LA, imagine. And when you see the joy on his face when he was walking around that clubhouse, the batting cages, going into the dugout to meet Dave Roberts, you could just see his face light up. His comment to Dave, he's like, I think the blue leans me out a little bit. And Dave's like, yeah, it does. It looks great. And it seemed like they had known each other forever.
Yes. His personality seems to fit. He is a baseball first guy. He is. I mean, of course, we are speaking from an LA perspective. Now that he's a Dodger, we're going to see a ton of Tarek Skubal media. Whereas when he's in Detroit, of course, we knew, there's a filthy pitcher over there who's won two Cy Youngs in the AL. But actually getting to know the man, so far we've learned humble guy, works his butt off, guys gravitate toward him, and now he gets to join a clubhouse that is the best in baseball, and now he gets to play championship level baseball. The past 2 years, the Tigers have been bounced out in the divisional round. He knows what the Dodgers' goals are, and there's going to be a level of excitement brought out of him as we get closer and closer to October, whereas his season usually ends. It's only just beginning.
You guys, it is the first time in MLB history that the Cy Young and MVP from the previous 2 years will play on the same team. That's Tarek Skubal and that's Shohei Ohtani. Do you know how lucky we are as fans here in LA? I always say it and I'll continue to say it. Our teams actually go after and get the best players available. They don't just talk about it, they make it happen. The Rams earlier this summer trading for Myles Garrett. The Lakers a couple years ago now, it kind of landed in their lap, but trading for Luka Doncic. And the Dodgers now with Tarek Skubal. These three teams have championship or bust mentality. Yeah. And instead of getting upset, it's weird because when you look at the NFL, I don't think a lot of teams are mad at the Rams. The same way that like baseball fans that aren't Dodgers fans are mad at the Dodgers. And it's the weirdest thing to me because I just want to look these fans in the eye and say, you know that your team and your owner can do the exact same thing. The Dodgers are just willing to go out and pay the best players that are available. And you know what happens when you go out and you pay the best players and you put the best product on the field? You not only win championships, but then you get booties in the seat. And what do booties in the seat do? They buy more food, they buy more booze, they buy your jerseys, then you get more sponsorships. It's like when you invest in your team, that's when you get the best return. And so I don't understand all of these fans that are just they got to put their anger somewhere and their frustration somewhere, and they're like just putting it towards the Dodgers when they should be looking at their own teams and putting it towards their owners.
A big part of it, too, and a big part of the gripe is the deferred money, which is, again, the Dodgers aren't doing anything that no one else can do.
Use the playbook.
Right. Why your team doesn't want to give out deferred money is because by giving out deferred money, it makes the team more difficult to sell 10, 15 years from now. Mark Walter is in it for the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, what Shohei Ohtani is, with the vast majority of his contract being deferred, is it's debt. So in 2045, if Mark Walter wanted to sell the team, whoever would be willing to buy it would say, well, I have to give how much money to Shohei Ohtani?
Yep.
No. We're going to lower that price because this money is already as good as gone. Mark Walter's in it for the long haul, so he doesn't care about deferred money. It is not the Dodgers or the Dodgers fans' fault that your ownership wants to have their options open to sell the team to the highest bidder 10 to 15 years from now, so they don't want deferred money on the books. That's not the Dodgers' fault for having an ownership group that wants to remain attached. I would say baseball ownership is the most expensive hobby that a billionaire can have. But when you have a guy like Mark Walter who treats it like his child, who cares about it, and yes, it is a financial opportunity for him. It has increased his net worth, but that doesn't mean he doesn't care about it. And the deferred money, to me, is just proof that he actually cares about this hobby. He loves about this hobby, and for all intents and purposes, he wants to die with this hobby still in his name, so he doesn't care how much money is on the books. Your ownership group is different. They want to sell this team 15 years from now, so they don't want deferred money. That's not the Dodgers' fault.
I mean, when you look at a lot of these Dodgers stars, every team they came from had the opportunity to pay them. Mookie Betts, the Red Sox, like the season before they beat the Dodgers in the World Series, and then he comes to the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman and the Braves decided they didn't want to pay him. Shohei Ohtani, the Angels could have traded him mid-season knowing that they weren't going to be able to keep him at the end of the season, made the worst decision in franchise history that could have completely reshaped their entire franchise. Ohtani even went to the Angels after the Dodgers made their offer and asked the Angels if they wanted to match it. And they said no.
Crickets.
It's mind-blowing to me, but it's positive and really great for us LA and Dodger fans because the Dodgers have created an atmosphere where players want to be here. You could see it even just on Tarek Skubal's face yesterday when they were following him around coming to Dodger Stadium. I mean, he could have taken a day and then met the team in Chicago, but you could see how excited he was just to get here and just be a part of this historic moment in time that the Dodgers are in right now. They are in the midst of a dynasty and in the midst of creating history and a three-peat. And now he gets to be a part of that.
And you listed off a crop of teams earlier, the Lakers, the Dodgers, and the Rams, who have made insane acquisitions that people didn't even know were possible in recent years. And credit to the ownership groups that continue to push things forward, saying we could rest on our laurels and say we're in LA and people want to be here, and if we go out there and win a couple games every single year, people are still going to show up because the weather's nice and people want a vacation out here and we're always going to sell tickets. But they don't do that. They continue to push to get better. There are multiple teams in LA in every single one of those sports, but it's the Rams, it is the Dodgers, and it is the Lakers who are always going to be at the forefront because they say, yes, we are in LA, but we don't want LA to be the reason you want to be here. We want you to be here because we're going to pay well, we're going to take care of you, and we want this to be a positive chapter in your legacy. That is what makes the Dodgers unique. It's not just the willingness to spend, it's the willingness to spend to make their players' lives better, and that's what matters.
And one of those guys that the Dodgers took a chance on, Freddie Freeman, was talking to NBC Sports yesterday during the broadcast, and he shared his thoughts on LA trading and getting Skubal.
Glad he's on our side now. Whenever you see the Tigers on the schedule, you kind of circle like, oh, are we going to draw Tarek or are we not going to draw him? It's fun to be part of an organization that goes out there and tries to win every single year. We have a great farm system that drafts well. We develop well. That teams want our guys, and credit to our front office to go out there and, go get those star players to hopefully win a championship again.
We also heard from Miggy Rojas when he was talking about hearing about this trade. Shay, you got Miggy ready? Because that also it really plays into how this clubhouse has to be feeling about the moves that the Dodgers are making.
This organization is a statement from this organization to the rest of the league and the world. They're not just satisfied with what happened the last couple of years. And we had a little conversation with Doug the other day, the position player group, and he's really into winning this year. So he say, obviously he cares about winning the last two, and it's really important for him and for us. But he say he don't really care about what happened the last 2 years. He wants to win this year. Like a press button for us to kind of continue to go and not let the rest of the league caught up to our standards, and we just gotta keep it up there. And for the front office to go out there and lend that punch is really impressive.
Yeah, when you see your ownership and your front office doing whatever it takes to give you the best possible product on the field, I have to imagine that gives the players a certain amount of confidence.
Yeah, and it gives itself to, again, the misnomer that Dodgers fans are fickle or that the Dodgers' success is all monetary. It's fans love the team because the players love to be here, and the players love to be here because they're getting taken care of. And when you love what you do and you love the place that you're at, your performance is naturally going to be better because you want to be at the facility. You want to be great. The Dodgers always are number one in attendance, and fans get to see great baseball being played. That leads to more money, which means they can elongate how often they can have a great team down there. Success breeds success, and it is so lazy and tired to poke holes at what the Dodgers are doing. It's the simple fact they have created an atmosphere that players want to be in, and if you are a desirable location, fans are going to keep showing up and giving you more money to spend because the product you're going to put out there is going to be a successful one.
And it's crazy because you hear a lot of fans say, oh, Dodgers are ruining the game. No, Dodgers are leading by example. Every other team can do exactly what the Dodgers are doing. They are investing in themselves. And if you talk to any successful person or business, that is the most important thing you need to do to succeed. Invest in yourself. And that's what the Dodgers are doing. And you know what? It's on a road to a 3P. Let's go, LA. And right now, you guys, we got to give a huge congratulations. We have a winner. Donovan in LA, you just won a 4-pack of tickets to Wild Rivers Water Park in Irvine. Congratulations.
Good, guys, what's up?
Donovan, who we bringing to the water park?
Thinking of taking my younger sister.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That's a good
little
brother
sibling
right there.
bonding right there.
Oh, we love that. Donovan, we appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you calling in. And congratulations again.
Cool. Shout out to the guys on the chat.
Let's go.
Have a blast, Donovan. Have a blast. Awesome.
Hey, guys, if you want to be a part of the chat, you're watching the live stream. It's on YouTube at The Fan LA. We've got a great group of Fangelinos in there every single day just hanging out. But
it's good to be a Dodger fan.
It's great to be a Dodger fan, you guys. It's also great to be a Rams fan. We only got like a couple minutes to dive into Rams camp last hour, so we're going to do it again coming up next. What did we learn from week 1 of Rams camp? That is coming up next here on Brock and Alex. Don't go anywhere. What's up, LA? Welcome back to Brock and Alex on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. I'm Alex Curry here with Brock Vereen. Thank you for spending your midday in LA with us, whether you're tuning in on the radio, the Odyssey app, or watching us live on YouTube. We appreciate you being here, and we love when you're a part of the show. So if you're watching the live stream, get in the chat at The Fan LA. Congratulations to Donovan, who is one of our regulars in the chat. So shout out to Donovan. He gave everyone else in the chat a big shout out. You can also call us at any time at 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-975-2326. Now, we've spent a lot of the show, and rightfully so, talking about the Dodgers' newest member in Tarek Skubal, two-time AL Cy Young winner, who is now with the team and is projected to make his Dodgers debut tomorrow. So we got plenty more Dodgers talk and trade talk as we are approaching the trade deadline. It's at 3 p.m. Pacific. We will keep you updated if any other big moves go down while we're on the air. But right now, we're going to head out to training camp, starting at Rams, then go to Chargers, because the Rams have completed their first week of training camp. And we've got several early storylines that are starting to take shape. Now, we know the Rams are coming in with all the star power. They are the Super Bowl favorites. They've arguably the best roster in the NFL. So it feels like the beginning part of training camp, especially because with Sean McVay, we see he doesn't play a lot of his starters in preseason. Mm-hmm. And a lot of this beginning part of training camp is keeping players healthy, which is why Myles Garrett has now missed 3 straight practices with, quote, lower body soreness. And McVay said they're just trying to be cautious about it. No reason to freak out yet. They're just trying to find depth and keep everybody healthy right now. But what was your biggest takeaway or takeaways from the Rams' first week of camp?
Yes, we will start the quarterback position.
Most
important position on the field. Matthew Stafford is back at an MVP level, as you just mentioned, is going to have a lighter schedule than most quarterbacks in most training camps. He practices every other day. There's nothing that he hasn't seen. There's nothing that he hasn't accomplished. He is just out there to maintain the chemistry. He's not out there to prove anything. He looks great. It's the backup quarterback battle that is more interesting, because very rarely in a backup quarterback battle do you get reps with the ones, meaning the starters. Typically in a backup quarterback battle, you're rotating between the second string and even the third string, which is usually a bunch of rookies running around. So great opportunity for Stetson Bennett and Ty Simpson, of course, the first-round pick. Bennett's been there for a couple years, has not played a regular season game as of yet, and they're absolutely battling right now. So right now, Stetson Bennett has more confidence. He has more swagger, is the word that's kind of being thrown around camp, and that makes total sense. Ty Simpson is getting more comfortable, and since the pads have come on, is getting comfortable pushing the ball downfield, using that accuracy of his. So Bennett, understandably, firmly in the lead. But once those preseason games come around, or maybe even the joint practices that the Rams have lined up, that is when Ty Simpson can really start to make his mark on the backup quarterback spot.
Question, though, here, because we talked about this a little last week. Are they confident that if anything happens to Matthew Stafford, one of these two guys is good enough to be the Rams' backup quarterback right now? A Stetson Bennett, who has never played a regular season NFL game, and a Ty Simpson, who has a very small sample
games at
the college level?
I think he's played 15 games
in
college
wild.
As a starter, which is not a lot at all. No, if God forbid Matthew Stafford got hurt today and it was going to be a long-term deal, the Rams, I'm still confident, would go sign Jimmy Garoppolo, who was their backup for a while, and Bennett was the third string.
Yeah.
Garoppolo he tested the free agent market, no starter bites, so he retired, but now he's saying he'll come back for the right situation. So yes, both of these guys, Stetson Bennett and Ty Simpson, get to prove during preseason games that they can be a true backup. But until they prove that, I would say Jimmy Garoppolo's number is still memorized by Les Snead. God forbid something happen to Matthew Stafford. Another battle, wide receiver 3. We've been talking a lot about this 13 personnel, and the tight end room essentially is their wide receiver 3. But it's really just wide receiver depth. And 6th-round rookie C.J. Daniels out of Miami has been leaving his mark and is pushing Jordan Whittington, who has had 2 years now to kind of establish himself as wide receiver 3, has not been able to really confirm that spot. So look for Daniels to continue to leave his mark there. Unfortunately, Xavier Smith, who kind of took that wide receiver 3 role from Jordan Whittington at a point last year, isn't really mixing in with the ones, and even punt return, which was his thing. Of course, you remember his fumble during the NFC Championship game against Seattle that led to points that led to them losing. He's now splitting punt return duty, so the status of Xavier Smith on this team is kind of up for grabs right now. Mentioned the tight end room. 2nd round out of Oregon, Terrence Ferguson, 6'5" guy, 250 pounds, that can absolutely fly. He's going to have a monstrous year. I don't play fantasy, but if you do, Terrence Ferguson is going to be a dog this year. But the tight end room is still expected to carry all 5 of them into the regular season. Sean McVay loves his tight ends. They are not going anywhere. The offensive line, as the genius Cynthia Freeland had pointed out almost a month ago now, the biggest question mark for the Rams. Some work to do, but a lot of that is injury related. Again, the pads have just now come on, so guys are going to start separating themselves. But Alaric Jackson, the left tackle, he has blood clots and has to take this medication, so they had to hold him out of a practice or 2. Keegan Trost has been banged up. David Quessenberry's he's a long-time vet. He's not a long-term solution, but if you needed him for this season, he could get the job done. He is that left tackle. And defensively, the edge room, let's start with the outside backers, Josiah Stewart and Desjuan Johnson. They're getting tons of work with the starters. Both of them are comfortably backups, but because Myles Garrett has been sitting out and because Byron Young has been fairly limited, especially in team drills and managing that knee, both of your backups are getting tons of reps, which is great. Depth is always a good thing. Lastly, cornerback. To the DBs, my favorite, Cam Lampkin. He's been with the team for a couple years now with the practice squad. He'll get called up, I think, for maybe 4 games or so over the last 2 years. Mostly a practice squad guy. And reports are saying outside of Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson, the 2 major signings that they made defensively this offseason outside of Myles Garrett, he looks to be the best among the defensive backs. So shout out to Cam Lampkin. And shout out to Blaine Grissick of Sports Illustrated. Great camp breakdowns, and if there's ever a day where our insider at training camp, Lindsey Poyardis, is not able to go to camp, I go straight to Blaine, and he has a breakdown, and that is where the Rams are sitting after 1 week.
Love it. And you guys, lot to be excited about here in LA. Obviously, not just with the Rams, but we're going to head to our other NFL team, the Chargers, where Lindsay is at today. So we're actually going to have Lindsay joining us in the last hour of this show from Chargers camp. And all I have to say, all the content that I've seen from their first couple days of practice, everyone is really happy for Justin Herbert and Madison Beer. Like, that is the first question with every single interview that he has done since being at training camp. He said he was more nervous about the proposal than his first NFL start. He also talked about like how amazing it is to have that kind of support system now.
Yeah.
He even had teammates. All of his teammates are asked about it too. And they said, oh, we're winning this year. We're definitely winning this year. And I saw this and I talked about it and I finally found it. There is this engagement stat. And
yes.
Yeah. So basically the season after getting engaged, all these players have made a Super Bowl appearance. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, 2020, Super Bowl appearance. Brock Purdy, 2023, Super Bowl appearance. Christian McCaffrey, Super Bowl appearance. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl appearance winner, MVP. Sam Darnold, Super Bowl appearance winner. Justin Herbert, Super Bowl appearance, question mark?
Wow.
So
okay,
it's just wild. And Jim Harbaugh believes this team is capable of reaching its ultimate goals after winning 11 games and making the playoffs in his first 2 seasons. Obviously, the next step is you gotta win in January and then in February. But what has been your major standout from Chargers camp so far?
The biggest battle right now is the left guard position. You have left tackle tied up with Rashawn Slater. You signed your center in Tyler Biadasz. You signed your right guard in Cole Strange coming over from Miami with McDaniels. And you have your right tackle in Joe Alt, the Pro Bowler. It's the left guard. So the battle is between rookie Jake Slaughter, who they drafted out of Florida. I feel like he will end up being the winner, but right now it is an open battle. Coyote Oshika, Trevor Penning, who they traded for and then extended a year back. He can play tackle or guard. And Trey Pipkins III, who has tons of experience, but in starting opportunities has struggled quite a bit. So pads are coming on.
Yeah.
Once the pads come on, things clear up, especially at the offensive line position. So right now we have 4 names that are circled. I expect this battle to be boiled down to 2 names before that first preseason game, now that the pads are on and popping. The good thing is, last year for the offensive line of the Chargers, depth was the issue. Justin Herbert was getting smacked around, running for his life every single snap. If you have depth, no matter who wins this battle, the fact that you have guys who you can move around and play chess with, essentially, is exciting because guys get hurt. It's part of it. Justin Herbert, who you just mentioned, not only a fiance, but he looks great. McDaniel's big thing with him was his new footwork, and apparently the new footwork is allowing him to get the ball out quicker.
Oh, so they are working on that, McDaniel's new system.
Big time.
That's great.
And I guess
huge.
Receivers are complimenting Herbert on how much earlier the ball is getting out. They're getting the ball earlier. He's anticipating guys throwing the ball instead of seeing them open and throwing the ball. He's trusting McDaniel, and he's just throwing the ball where the guys are going to be. And it looks great so far. So McDaniel's is saying, quote, pushing Herbert out of his comfort zone is his biggest goal throughout camp. Lastly, on the offensive side, 4th-round rookie Brennan Thompson has been showing off that 4.2 speed, and he's already working with the starters, which is a very exciting thing for any 4th-rounder, let alone at the wide receiver spot. Defensively, the table's pretty set defensively. This was a top 5 defense a year ago. The only real battle is in the safety room. Tony Jefferson, R.J. Molden, R.J. Mickens, and rookie Genesis Smith. Telling you right now, rookie Genesis Smith will be starting. I don't know if it'll be week 1, but he will be starting by week 5. He is a baller. And if he can prove that he can understand the defense and what's being asked of him, I don't know who the other starting safety will be, probably Tony Jefferson, but Genesis Smith will be a starter before the second month of the NFL season.
Okay, so take us into the mind, because you said this. You're like, well, we're gonna learn a lot more now that the pads are coming on.
Yeah.
So take us into that mental transition of a player. Of that first week, it's kind of like, okay, we're here. We're just kind of going through the motions. What is that shift to now the pads are on and things start to get a little more serious?
Things move faster. So in these early practices, you either don't wear pads or you wear shells, which is kind of like a really thin pillow, I guess is the nicest way to put it. It's just to protect your joints when you strike with your hands and stuff like that. When the pads come on and the helmet comes on, it's truly full speed. You run full speed. I'm using quotations if you're listening, without pads, but just mentally, it's impossible to actually go 100% without wearing pads because you don't want to be an idiot and get someone hurt. So once the pads are on, that's the closest thing you're going to get to real live action. And at the offensive line spot, which is the only spot where you're hitting someone every single play, that matters more than anything. So from Jake Slaughter, Coyote Oshika, Trevor Penning, and Trey Pipkins III, some of them have more experience than the others. Of course, Jake Slaughter is a rookie, even though he was drafted early and big things are expected of him. But until you can prove you can get your hands on Khalil Mack and drive him back, until you can prove you can get your hands on linebacker Denzel Perryman and drive him back, we have you in pencil. Every other position, like DB, where tackling is an important part of it, you can start putting some guys down in pen. But offensive line and defensive line, it's all in pencil until pads come on, because we have to see at full speed you can get your hands on someone and drive them back.
It's so fun. You mentioned Khalil Mack. I think he was, I need to go back and look, but one of the guys did like a Mike McDaniel impression during their presser. And no, they're loving him. They're loving his like weird vibe energy. I think it's gonna work, especially since they're all used to Harbaugh now, who is like very different. I mean, if you guys have watched Ted Lasso, Ted Lasso was based off of Harbaugh. Like literally the character Like Jason Sudeikis called Harbaugh and would ask him, like, what do I wear? What are my mannerisms? What do I do? Like, literally Ted Lasso is based off of Harbaugh. In every sense of like who the character is.
I never knew that until you brought that up. And my wife is watching Ted Lasso right now. So if I'm walking through the room or I'm in the kitchen or something, I see her watching it. That makes so much sense now.
It's Harbaugh.
I'm
literally
upset of how I did not put it together sooner. So thank you for pointing that out.
They talk about it openly now. I don't know if they were like season 1.
Yeah.
But now it's like
dead on.
It's like a known thing. And it is just so fun. So the fact that you have like a Ted Lasso and Harbaugh and then now Mike McDaniel, that's just so like it's so wild. That is such an entertaining. I just hope they're doing like a documentary of the Chargers this year because I just need nonstop BTS video of Mike McDaniel and Jim Harbaugh.
They should do a raffle every week, and the winner gets to sit in a meeting that Harbaugh and McDaniel have every single Monday, and you just get to be a fly on the wall and listen to two weirdos talk about football for an hour.
Dude.
I would enter that raffle every week.
I would love to be a fly on that wall. All right, guys, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, did Laker fans ever truly love LeBron James? We're going to dive into that next. You're listening to Brock and Alex on the new 97.1 The Fan. What's up, LA? Welcome back to Brock and Alex on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. I'm Alex Curry here at Brock Vereen. Thank you for spending your midday in LA with us, whether you're tuning in on the radio, the Odyssey app, or watching us live on YouTube. We appreciate you being here. We love when you are part of the conversation. So if you're watching the live stream, get in the chat at The Fan LA on YouTube. You can also call us at any time at 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-975-2326. And the reason this next segment, it actually has me questioning, is because of all the fans that we have had call in when the LeBron James news broke that first he was choosing not to come back to LA and then that he was going to Philly. I was under the belief that fans were grateful that he brought us a championship to LA, that after the Kobe Bryant era, he helped make this franchise relevant again, which is hard to say when you think of the Lakers. But we were in a very low point of our fandom. And I quickly learned that I was on an island and most fans were happy to see him go and never truly felt that kind of deep love that you have for a superstar, especially one that brings you a championship.
Yes, and the sentiment that Bill Reiter shared last week and his very viral moment of saying LeBron did not love LA, and whether or not you agree with that, I don't think you can. I think you have a hard time disagreeing with the opposite, which is what we're presenting here. It's, overwhelmingly the Lakers seemingly did not love LeBron James. And I think what it boils down to is the entire thing was transactional. Now, you say, Brock, it's the NBA. Everything is transactional. They get paid a lot of money to do something that's very difficult. And yes, of course. However, it was presented as transactional, right? Like fans like to live in disillusion. Like as a fan, you have to have cognitive dissonance of removing yourself from logic just for a specific case, right? When a fan sees a player wear the jersey of their favorite team, they have to they convince themselves that this current team is the most important team in that person's life. That's not always true. Many players play across many different teams, but it's part of being a fan. It's having stakes in it, right? I think what happened with LeBron was, on the front hand, no matter what he did in a Lakers uniform, it was always going to be the third chapter of the story. The Ohio-born kid bringing Cleveland to relevancy and winning them a championship, nothing is ever going to top that. Miami, the most exciting version of basketball that I've ever seen in my lifetime, the Heatles and that 4-year run that they had, nothing he did as a Laker was going to top that, because that was the most athletic version of LeBron James. He's a grown man as a member of the LA Lakers, and he left here as an old man of the LA Lakers. He was never going to top that. So I think because it wasn't even attempted to be concealed, it was difficult as a fan to fall into the disillusion of he loves being here and we love him. It's no, he's going to help us come back to relevancy and hopefully win a championship or 2 or 3. And we as a city get to give him a foot into the entertainment industry. It was transactional, and that is totally fine. I think because the veil was not put up this time, it just became tougher to accept.
Now, we heard Shaq kind of talk about this and compare it to his own Lakers experience, where he said, they didn't love me, they loved Kobe. And even though Kobe kind of gave his blessing when the Lakers ended up signing LeBron James, I understand that a lot of fans were never going to fully open their arms to him that the way they did, obviously, for Kobe, who is the most beloved Laker of all time.
Right.
However, when you get a star player on your team, what's the goal?
Win.
And what did he do?
He did that.
And he brought us a championship. So for that right there, I think fans should be grateful. I mean, it was just a weird time. It was 2020. It was COVID. The world changed. Everything was weird. People say, oh, it doesn't count because it was the Mickey Mouse bubble championship. But okay, yeah, so every other team had to do the exact same thing. You were isolated from your family, from everything that you knew, and you were just in this bubble. Yeah. And it should have been harder for every team to win, and it was. So the fact that LeBron was able to will this team to win that championship says so much of who he was and what he was able to do for this team. We want to hear from you, LA. You can call us at 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-975-2326. Let's go to KJ in LA. How are you feeling about the LeBron situation?
LeBron, I'm going to keep it 100. LeBron treated the Lakers as a stripper. The reason why I say that, listen, the reason why I say that, because he came to Los Angeles, came and got our money, and only gave us one happy ending championship. So we kept going. He kept doing it for 8 years, and we still didn't get a happy ending. And if you look at that...
Do we lose him? KJ, you there?
I'm not mad at the analogy. I'm going to be honest with you, KJ.
But you got a happy ending.
KJ's kind of spitting, man.
You got a happy ending, you guys. And I think that's what fans are forgetting. Because a lot of star players that go to teams don't actually get that championship, a.k.a. happy ending, as KJ was so beautifully putting it. It's just...
So
he got the job done. He did what the goal was coming to LA. And for that, like, LA fans, like, how could you not have that? I'm trying to think of the right word without being angry at LA fans for not appreciating LeBron James. But you're like you're taking greatness for granted.
That is a fair point. And in hindsight, when LeBron is 10 years into retirement, I wouldn't be shocked if the narrative starts to tilt that way. Where I think LA fans grow frustrated is because the previous 8 years across 2 different teams, LeBron was in the championship, going 3 for 5 with the Heat and with the Cavs for his second time being there and bringing them their first championship. So if you said a guy who has been to the championship for 8 years in a row is only going to go once over the next 8 years, then it goes back to the fandom of what makes sports great is my team is the only thing in the world that matters, and the great players who are here are going to be great forever. And that's going to seem like he came up short. And I do feel that back in 2018 when he signed, if you told me that he was only going to go to 1 championship after being in 8 over the 8 previous years, I would say, that's pretty underwhelming. And I think the underwhelm turns to anger when you add in all the extra off the court LeBron bubble, not bubble, his circle and the Rich Paul, and now you have an excuse for that disappointment to turn into just being annoyed.
But what other star player has brought a championship to every franchise that he's played with?
That's a great point.
Right? There is no one else.
And there's been a different NBA champion for the past 7 years, I want to say. I think it's been 7 years. 7?
You can look. I know. I just, LA, come on. Just be grateful for the time that we got with LeBron James. All right. Hour number 4 coming up next. What's up, LA? Welcome back to Brock and Alex on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. I'm Alex Curry here with Brock Vereen. Thank you for spending your midday in LA with us, whether you're tuning in on the radio, the Odyssey app, or watching us live on YouTube. We appreciate you being here. We love when you're a part of the conversation. So if you're watching the live stream, get in the chat at The Fan LA. You can also call us at any time at 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-975-2326. Happy trade deadline day. We are just 2 hours away from the deadline. It goes until 3 p.m. Pacific. We have been keeping you updated on all the moves. Dodgers have been buyers. Angels have been sellers. Honestly, I'm proud of them for finally realizing that at this point of the season. I still think the biggest mistake they ever made in franchise history was not trading Shohei Ohtani at the trade deadline and getting probably one of the more legendary hauls you could have ever gotten for Ohtani, considering it would have been a rental, but at least like reshape your farm system.
Yes.
So
really quick, Alex, two more updates.
Let's go.
Not Dodgers related, but we are highlighting teams that the Dodgers could beat in the playoffs. So catcher Adley Rutschman is leaving the Baltimore Orioles.
You guys, a face of the franchise.
Selling everything. Orioles are starting from scratch, Bubba.
Which is crazy because they were like a couple years ago, they were the young, up-and-coming future. Oh my gosh, they're going to be what the Astros were like back in 2015. And like they have World Series hopes. Like that was the conversation
They were all
around
so
the Orioles.
And with the Orioles, too, I'm anticipating an article or two explaining just bad vibes because for them to be so young, I understand that they seemingly reached as far as they were going to get, but to completely start from scratch with getting rid of all your young pieces other than Holiday really at this point, maybe guys just weren't getting along. But as far as the update trade-wise, Adley Rutschman is off to Boston. Glad that they are out of the way, but Boston is looking like a team that can't be stopped, so maybe that is a World Series appearance. And as of 19 minutes ago, we have another pitcher, Dustin May, and JoJo Romero are headed to the Brewers, beefing up that lineup behind Mr. Jacob Mizorowski. That will significantly impact the Dodgers as the Brewers and Dodgers are destined to meet in the playoffs.
Wild. You guys, obviously Dodgers making their big move on Saturday night, acquiring two-time Cy Young winner Tarek Skubal. We were just kind of talking about like that where were you moment when the news broke. Our boss Andrew just walked in. He's like, I was in the middle of watching Spider-Man. I think you were also in Spider-Man.
I didn't realize until he walked away, like, oh yeah, when I was walking to the parking lot from the theater after seeing Spider-Man, that's when I got 30 text messages. So yeah, I was in Spider-Man too, Andrew.
It was wild. Social media just blowing up of people who were at Dodger Stadium, like screaming in the stands, do you realize we just got Skubal? Is anyone else freaking out? I'm freaking out. Like, such a wild way for it to go down. We had Sonia Chen on, the Dodgers beat reporter for MLB.com, and she said she was in the clubhouse when the news broke, and guys were kind of just like, oh, it's happening. But it also, like, when you're watching the video, they kind of did a behind the scenes with Skubal when he came. So, okay, the trade became official late Saturday night. Then he arrives at Dodger Stadium Sunday for that afternoon game against the Red Sox. And they show him coming in and saying hi to everybody in the clubhouse, by the batting cages, then going to give Dave Roberts a hug in the dugout. And everybody kind of seemed like it was like, oh, we were just waiting for when this was going to happen, not if.
Yeah.
And that says a lot, because we also heard from Dave Roberts. Shay, do we have that sound when he was talking about it was going to be Skubal?
Yeah, I think obviously you can feel the energy, the excitement, the buzz. And this was a different year in the sense that it was Skubal or nothing, I think, essentially, where we have a lot of good players, a lot of good depth, and already. And so there wasn't a whole lot of, in typical years, there's a lot of speculation and guys wondering where they're going to land, if something's going to happen. But I think this year, even with this addition, we obviously got a whole lot better, but, guys are going to be the guys and the roles are the roles. And, we're just, like I said, we're just thrilled.
But there was a lot of speculation because it was like, are the Dodgers going to go and get Skubal? Is that possible? Are the champs, the back-to-back champs, just going to get better? The rich are getting richer. Like, are they really going to pull this off? And you heard so many different baseball insiders kind of explain the fact that, like, if anybody was going to make a pitch for the two-time Cy Young winner in Tarik Skubal, Dodgers had the best package to give. They also had the biggest, and it's hard to say the need, but you lost at this point 3 of your starters who were supposed to be who were all aces on any other team. Most recently in Shohei Ohtani, when last week they shut down all pitching activities. Blake Snell is the closest one to returning. We just talked to Sonia Chen, and she said next week we should expect to see him back in the Dodgers rotation. And Tyler Glass now, who is still dealing with those back spasms, he's slowly making his way back, but no one really knows. And also when we were talking to Sonia about Shohei Ohtani, it's like, he's been out long enough now that he's going to have to do like a full spring training style ramp up, but isn't going to be able to go and do a rehab assignment because the Dodgers can't afford to not have him in the lineup as a DH. So they're going to do what they did last year when they ramped him back up, and he's just going to be on like a pitch count. He'll come in for an inning and then maybe 2 innings, and he's got to ramp his velo back up. Like literally everything. And on top of that, how is his knee and bicep going to react to all of it? So the Dodgers needed Skubal, which is crazy to say and to think about too.
Yeah, it is. It is a very unique situation in that even if the Dodgers did not trade for Tarik, I am expecting them to win the World Series, but they did need an arm. And if you are the Dodgers and you need an arm, you have a proven track record of starting at the very best. If the Dodgers need a second baseman, who's the best one available? Dodgers need a left fielder, who's the best one available? Because just in regards of making the best team, constructing the best team that you possibly can, everything's going to start there. Where the Dodgers separate themselves from the rest of baseball is when they go after the best, they're able to land them. Whereas most teams get told no, and then they find their 4th best option.
Yeah.
The Dodgers go after the best option, and they put an offer on the table of 3 top 30 prospects in outfielder Zaire Hope, right-handed pitcher River Ryan, and right-handed pitcher Brady Smith. And the Detroit Tigers, who did receive offers from other teams, the Phillies is the only confirmed one, but obviously when a player of the caliber of Tarik Skubal is up on the table, offers came in, and that package of Hope, Ryan, and Smith deemed to be the best one.
It's wild, you guys. This is the first time in MLB history that the Cy Young and MVP from the previous 2 years will play on the same team, and that is Shohei Ohtani and that is Tarik Skubal. Now, Dodgers, with this move, we obviously already know that. They are all in for this historic three-peat. Now, Skubal is scheduled to become a free agent at the end of the season, meaning the Dodgers made this move knowing they might only have him as a rental and for this one championship run. Now, we were talking to Sonia about this, Sonia Chen, the Dodgers beat reporter for MLB.com. Would there be a possibility that they could sign him before the end of the season, but because of his agent, that is most likely not going to happen? And our thought was like, well, if they get this deal done, then he could be grandfathered in before the new CBA and the potential salary cap. But that's not what Boris does. Boris likes to really test the open market and really try to get the most bang for your buck. So that also has me believing, okay, this is a rental, but this is also all chips in win now because we have no idea what's going to happen next season. We are looking at a potential lockout. We are looking at a potential salary cap. And we are looking at a Dodgers team right now that might not look the same in a couple years.
Right. And right now, Tarik Skubal is the 5th highest paid pitcher. The 4th highest paid pitcher is Glass now. 3rd is Garrett Cole. 2nd, DeGrom. 1 is Zach Wheeler, who's making $42 million. DeGrom is making $38 million. I'd expect Tarik Skubal, with Boris as his agent, to probably start the conversation at $40 million. And we'll see what happens there. That is a hefty price to pay, and as the Dodgers and not knowing what's going to happen, you want that on the books as quickly as possible. But Boris being Boris means he is the king of getting every single penny. It's going to be so funny too, because by trading for a player, you're essentially first in line to extend them. Every single team should make an attempt to sign Tarik Skubal if he does reach free agency, and yet every single team did not make an attempt to trade for him. It's just funny baseball logic, and obviously it comes down to players that are on your roster currently. But as we list off the dozens and dozens of trades that seem to be happening and will continue to happen for another hour and a half or so, no one could beat out the Dodgers package.
But now it makes sense, because most likely he is a rental. And what are you willing to give up if you're not the Dodgers, who are the World Series favorites, who are on a quest of a three-peat, who have enough capital in their prospects to take this? I don't even know if you call it a risk, because you know what you're getting. He is coming off of elbow surgery to remove the loose bodies, which the Dodgers are very familiar with. Edwin Diaz just came back from having that same procedure. Blake Snell should be back next week after having that same procedure. So now they have 3 arms in their in their pitching roster that have all had the surgery this year to remove loose bodies in their elbows, which is wild, because before this year I was unfamiliar with this term and this procedure.
And I never want to hear it again. I'm so sick of hearing about loose bodies in an elbow.
It's so wild, you guys. Baseball coverage on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that. Now, where does Tarik Skubal fit into the Dodgers rotation right now? Anywhere he wants to be, you guys. Anywhere he wants to be, okay? Because right now you got Yamamoto and you got Tarik Skubal. And that is your 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Right now. Facing either of those guys on the mound is going to be terrifying. Now, it is reported that Skubal is supposed to make his Dodgers debut tomorrow. Still waiting to see. I've been refreshing. Oh, so we have Dodgers lineup.
Okay.
For the Cubs, but I still don't see a starting pitcher. So starting pitcher says TBD.
Okay.
But we do have the Dodgers starting lineup. First pitch in Chicago at 5:05 p.m. at Wrigley Field. They will be facing Matthew Boyd. Dodgers starter still says TBD. But Shohei Ohtani will be leading off. Andy Pages batting second in center field. Tommy Edman batting third at second base. Freddie Freeman batting fourth at first base. Mookie Betts batting fifth at shortstop. Kyle Tucker batting sixth in right field. Teoscar Hernandez in left field batting seventh. Kike Hernandez batting eighth at third base. And then you have Fonzie behind the plate.
Okay.
So this kind of leads us to the next conversation I want to have. And after the Dodgers acquired Skubal, they made another move this morning for catcher Ben Rortvedt. And this comes after yesterday Rushing was scratched kind of last minute ish.
Yeah.
He has minor arm irritation is what they're saying. Dodgers have described the injury as, quote, minor. But the fact that Will Smith is still at least 3 weeks away from returning after it was an inflamed disc in his neck. Dalton Rushing, who has been starting majority of the time since Will Smith has been out, obviously scratched yesterday, still out today. And Alfonso, who started the game yesterday, couple big errors, pass ball situations that were questionable. The Dodgers went out and they got more help behind the plate. Now, Ben Reiter, obviously, has been on the Dodgers before. If you're unfamiliar, but you do remember the viral moment of a Dodgers catcher doing almost like breakdancing stretching, that's your boy.
Get those hips loose.
That's your boy. He is back.
He is. He was traded today for right-handed pitcher Trace McDermott. And as you mentioned, 18 games played for the Dodgers last season. This year he spent with the Mets in the minors, but most importantly last season he filled in for Will Smith in 4 playoff appearances in the wild card and the NLDS. He was on the active roster for the CS and the World Series, but Will Smith was healthy and naturally helped them win a World Series. So Dalton Rushing there, I saw arm and I saw elbow irritation. Scary phrases being thrown around. I'll wait to hear what the Dodgers say, even though it'll probably be incorrect. But we'll wait and make it until somebody makes it official. It's a bummer for Alfonso Jr. Now, Eliezer is going to continue to have opportunities like he has one tonight. Mm-hmm. And I don't think the trade for Reiter guarantees that Alfonso's time in Los Angeles is over. It obviously doesn't spell well, but what I'm bummed about is every time he had an opportunity to make an attempt to claw that role away from Rushing, the moment seemed too big for him. Like offensively, his bat finally got going. He had a hit in 4 hits in his past 6 appearances and an RBI in 3 consecutive appearances for the Dodgers. Like the offense had come alive. It was just those unforgivable errors as a catcher. As a catcher, your job is to protect the baseball from going behind you. And in the biggest moments, it seemed it was just a routine pitch that would just bounce right off his glove. It would be a pitch that was maybe in the dirt, but one that a major league catcher is expected to get. In the 8th inning yesterday, missed a ball that hit right off his glove, and he lets a runner score, and he's holding his finger afterwards, so his finger's banged up now. And, I don't think his story is over, again, as a major leaguer. I do think the move for Reiter is more so insurance, but I do understand Dave Roberts saying, in the biggest moments, those where your mistakes came. There weren't a ton of mistakes, but if your mistakes are going to come when the lights are bright, I don't know how much I can trust you in the playoffs. Let me go get some insurance of a catcher who has succeeded for us in playoff moments.
I also think it says a lot about Dalton Rushing.
Yeah.
And again, like Will Smith is resuming baseball activities. He is pain-free. And he was shut down for a while, you guys. He took the first steps in his hitting progression on the 31st, and they're hoping that he'll be back late August, early September. So, yeah, it could be we're still possibly a month away. We know everything that kind of went down with Dalton Rushing, whether it was the situation with Shohei Ohtani or certain plays where... What's a nice way to say this? There was a lot of sass that was added to the situation that didn't need to necessarily be there, which, again, like for any other team and players, that's going to pump people up. But for the Dodgers, that's just not the way they go about things. So then on top of that, he was scratched just moments before first pitch last night because of an arm issue that flared up while playing catch. Right. And as you said, when you hear those... Would you say elbow?
Elbow, yes.
Anything with a catcher, a pitcher, like it's...
Elbow, irritation in the elbow area is the exact phrase, and they're downplaying it because they should downplay it, but it is a phrase that is then followed up with a consecutive start with Alfonso, and if there is a third consecutive start by Alfonso, then it's, okay, this is a real thing.
Yeah. So, Ben Reiter back with the Dodgers.
Welcome back, Ben.
Yeah, adding some depth. I'm excited to see those breakdancing stretching moves again. They're all time, okay? They're legendary, and I'm curious to see who is going to be catching for Skubal tomorrow.
Yeah,
because he is slated to start tomorrow. It's interesting because you would think it would be maybe Eric Lauer tonight, so I'm curious because
what the holdup is.
Yeah, because we got the whole starting lineup but no pitcher announced yet. So once again, Dodgers starting lineup, Shohei Ohtani leading off, Andy Pages batting second, Tommy Edman batting third, Freddie Freeman batting fourth, Mookie Betts batting fifth, Kyle Tucker batting sixth, Teoscar Hernandez batting seventh, and it's always I'm like Enrique Hernandez, Kike Hernandez batting eighth. I know, and Alfonso Jr. behind the plate. I know. I always forget Kike. Yeah. Kike is Enrique. So that should be a fun one. The Dodgers are in Chicago. First pitch at 5:05 p.m. The first of a 3-game set, but I think all eyes are going to be on tomorrow's start in game when Tarek Skubal makes his Dodgers debut. That is going to be a fun one. It has been a wild trade deadline weekend. There's about an hour and a half left. It goes until 3 p.m. Pacific. We'll keep you updated if any other major moves have been made. But yeah. Wild.
Deadline's here, people.
Wild stuff, you guys. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, more Dodgers as they look ahead to this Cubs series. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Brock and Alex on the new 97.1 The Fan. What's up, LA? Welcome back to Brock and Alex on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. I'm Alex Curry here with Brock Vereen. Thank you for spending your midday in LA with us, whether you're tuning in on the radio, the Odyssey app, or watching us live on YouTube. We appreciate you being here, and we love when you're a part of the conversation. So if you're watching the live stream, get in the chat at The Fan LA. You can also call us at any time at 855-97-LA-FAN. Now, we've been talking a lot about the moves that the Dodgers have made this weekend. One thing we did not talk about was that they got swept, you guys, by the Boston Red Sox. And it wasn't pretty. It was Dinger City yesterday. Yeah. It was brutal for Emmett Sheehan. And you painted this picture of the broadcast after Sheehan, I think, got pulled from the game. Mm-hmm. They panned to Tarik Skubal walking into the dugout and seeing Dave Roberts and just giving him the biggest hug. And it was almost like this transition of, okay, you're kind of the last man out of this 6-man rotation once we bring Skubal in. And that performance that we just saw, that ain't going to cut it moving forward.
Brutal performance by Sheehan, and the conversation for Sheehan was between him and Roki, who's going to be the first to go if there is a trade, and Roki has now stacked 3 consecutive starts, and Sheehan unfortunately puts together one of his worst outings of the season. In the first inning yesterday, he was having some control issues, but then in the second inning, they seemed to settle. He strikes out all 3 batters in the second inning, but then in the third inning, just absolute disaster strikes. He gives up 3 home runs, then he hits a batter, and then he gets yanked. Brutal. And as Alex pointed out, you don't know the exact order the things happen in, but maybe it was just a great job by NBC painting it this way. But as far as we know, the broadcast cuts to commercial as Sheehan gets yanked and he's walking out. They cut to commercial, they come back, and the first thing you see is Skubal coming through the clubhouse, emerging to Dodger Field for the first time, and who's there waiting with a big grin, even though his team is laying a dud, and it's Dave Roberts who could not be happier. So yeah, I'm going to assume if everyone remains on their trajectory of health, that this would be the last time we'll see Sheehan as a starting pitcher. But setbacks happen, and maybe some guys won't be ready, and I would love Sheehan to get one more crack at it just to go out on a whim, because I think it's a foregone conclusion. No matter what Sheehan does, I think he's out of playoff conversation now.
Yeah, so it's interesting when you look at this Dodgers rotation right now, because where does Skubal fit in? It's being reported he's going to be making his Dodgers debut tomorrow in Chicago at Wrigley. But when you look at who's healthy right now, okay, Yamamoto, Robleski, Sasaki, Eric Lauer, and Sheehan. Mm-hmm. Then let's put in Skubal. So would you start Yamamoto or Skubal game 1 come October?
I'm going Yamamoto. I'm going Yamamoto, even if it's just a matter of pride, just a matter of he's been here longer, and it's not that you don't trust Skubal in those moments. It's just if you have to give it to one of them and you trust both equally. Yes, I understand Skubal has 2 Cy Youngs, but there's not a single soul in baseball who would not trust Yoshi in that moment. I give it to Yamamoto.
I'm with you too. And it's interesting because when we had these conversations when Shohei Ohtani was pitching at an elite sub-1 ERA level before all the injuries hit, and we said who is the Dodgers ace? Is it Shohei Ohtani or is it Yamamoto? And both of us, I think, said it's Yamamoto. Mm-hmm. I mean, what he did in the World Series last year, and the way Dave Roberts talks about Yamamoto, of just there's so much confidence, and you never have to worry, even when he gets into trouble. Now, Skubal's numbers this season obviously are a little different, coming off of his surgery where he had the loose bodies removed in his elbow. He had a rough couple first outings and then really settled in. He's only had 16 starts. He's 7-5 with a 2.79 ERA, which is pretty close to Yamamoto's 2.76 ERA. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they are neck and neck, as close as you can get. And I think that 1-2 punch, it doesn't matter who you have, one or two. Any batter is going to like look at this rotation and go, are you kidding me? How?
Yeah.
How do we beat them?
And Yamamoto held it down game 2 of this recent sweep. His offense just didn't have his back on Saturday. He certainly handled his business. You look at the series and the Dodgers were outscored 10-20 throughout the sweep. Most notably, giving up 7 home runs to Boston, 3 of them alone from Ceddanne Rafaela. Sometimes it's your series, and it was his weekend for sure. We highlighted Sheehan, which leads us to the bullpen aspect. And the addition of Chris Bubich, who was traded from the Royals, now with the Dodgers, halfway through what we hopefully will be emerging come fall time off of the 60-day IL. So many, due to the depth that the Dodgers have, so many starters can assist in the bullpen because the bullpen, again, just did not have its best day yesterday. Most notably, Will Klein, who brutal Boston outing on Friday night, and that now makes it back-to-back struggling appearances from him. But really over the past 6 games, he's given up 13 runs and 8 walks over the course of 6 1/3 innings. And to go from being really a staple of this bullpen to unfortunately now his name is up for, okay, someone's got to get bumped when we start putting these starters down there. And it was unfortunate to see the weekend that he had. And he's a guy who Dave Roberts trusts often throughout a series to make multiple appearances. After that dismal Friday outing, we did not see him Saturday. We did not see him yesterday. As for the rest of the bullpen, Wyatt Mills and Kyle Hurt were recalled the day before yesterday's game. I'm not going to hold a ton of that against them, but brutal outings. But I bring up Mills, Hurt, and Klein because, as we mentioned, most notably once the playoffs come around, starters go to the bullpen and names got to get bumped. And unfortunately, Sheehan as a starter and then 3 names in the bullpen are kind of offering themselves up saying, hey, Dave, bump me because I laid an egg this weekend. And it's unfortunate to see, but it explains why he's beefing up this rotation so much.
Yeah, I mean, Sheehan might get another shot because he's number 6 in this 6-man rotation right now with Shohei Ohtani out. Blake Snell still out, but is expected back possibly next week. He has one more rehab assignment that he's got to do this week. And then we still don't know about Tyler Glasnow. So Snell, Ohtani, Glasnow, still obviously not in this rotation. But right now, this 6-man rotation is Yamamoto, Skubal, Robleski, Sasaki, Lauer, and then Sheehan. So he might have another chance to kind of...
I hope so. For his sake, just because it would be one of the last times we see him just for this season, unless disaster struck and more guys get hurt. I would love that out there. I know, right? I would love for him to go out with just a positive note before kind of, resting a little bit for the remainder of the year. So for his sake, I hope he gets one more shot at it. But I don't think he could do anything in one more opportunity that would prevent him from being the first guy to kind of get taught. To get tossed down from that rotation.
The funniest part about this weekend and this series and the Dodgers getting swept is you would have no idea if you were watching the broadcast last night and looking at Dave Roberts or any of the other players' reactions that's what was happening. And it really makes you think of the Dodgers kind of like their perspective on the season.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't know if you want to call it like a whole spring training, but the season is kind of like a whole buildup till October for the Dodgers. And they are one of the few teams that can actually say that because it's not about, what happens like if we get to October. It's how do we stay as healthy and have all of our guys in the best shape possible when we get to October, which is why you're going to see Dave Roberts smiling after getting swept by the Red Sox, which is why you were going to see him focusing on their newest addition in Tarek Skubal coming into the dugout in the middle of the game. And it's just wild to think about that, again, you're getting swept and they're like, yeah, okay, well, well, we'll learn from this and move on. Doesn't really matter anyway.
Scooble's here. It's fine. Everything's totally fine. No, it was such a weird vibe throughout the weekend because once the news broke on Saturday, I'm not sure at what point throughout the game it broke because like I said, I was in Spider-Man, so I was going to watch the game on delay anyway that night. So I'm not sure when it broke, but even while watching that game, knowing that Scuba was on the team, and then last night watching what was the worst performance I think out of all 3 games.
That was brutal.
There was just this feeling of this is very ugly baseball, but
they don't care.
Deal with it. They'll be fine.
Wait, I have a question for you.
Okay.
You're one of the people that will record a game and you will watch it later?
Yeah.
You will watch a whole game later.
Well, here's the thing, though. If you watch a game live, you're always going to finish it before I finish it because I'm on a recording. However, the time I set aside to watch the game is quicker because YouTube TV has a perfect 15-second skip, and I get into a rhythm where, on average, there's 15 seconds between each pitch. So after every single pitch is thrown, I say skip, and I literally see every single pitch. All that being said, when you add in skipping the commercials, I can get through a game in like 45 minutes.
You know what? That feels like very much a player watching tape and like having to watch film and everything. Because I'm like, if I miss the game, I'm going to watch, like, they have, like, a condensed highlight video. Oh, and that's what I'll go back and watch.
The MLB YouTube channel. Right,
so it's like every major moment that happened in the game. But you are someone who will go back and watch the entire game. I just have an issue. But I think that's why sports will always succeed in the media world is because it's something that you have to watch live. Unless you're Brock Farine. And then you're okay recording. Don't tell me what happened. You're one of those like, no, don't tell me what happened. My brother-in-law is the same way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys, If it happen live, like everything is like fair game to talk about in sports. Okay, you're wild.
Guilty.
You were absolutely wild.
There was one positive thing before we step aside and get to Chargers camp. The one bright spot of this weekend was Freddie Freeman, currently on a 12-game hit streak.
Woo-wee!
Thank you, Freddie.
He is red hot. He is what? Red hot. Okay, that was one of my softball. Did you guys? No, I don't think baseball has chance. Softball always has had chance.
Baseball,
our team is what?
Red hot. Our team is what?
Red hot. Our team is REDNH. Okay, we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we are heading out to Chargers camp because our field reporter at 97.1 The Fan, Lindsay Polaris, is live at Chargers camp and is going to be giving us the inside vibe of everything going on there today. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Brock and Alex on the new 97.1 The Fan. What's up, LA? Welcome back to Brock and Alex on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. I'm Alex Curry here at Brock Vereen. Thank you for spending your midday in LA with us, whether you're tuning in on the radio, the Odyssey app, or watching us live on YouTube. We appreciate you being here. And you guys, NFL training camps are in full swing. We've talked a lot about kind of our takeaways from the first full week of Rams camp. But now we're heading out to Chargers camp because we have our field reporter at 97.1 The Fan, Lindsay Pilaris, joining us live from Chargers camp. Lindsay, how we doing?
What's up, beautiful people? It's another beautiful day of football in SoCal. I'm in El Segundo, like you mentioned, today at the Bolt.
Okay, so paint the picture for us. What's happened so far at camp? What have you seen? What are the vibes?
Yeah, so this is the start officially of week 2 of training camp for the Chargers. A lot more of a confined fan section, I would say, here after being at Rams camp. But lots of good vibes today because you know what today is? It was safety Derwin James Jr.'s big 30th birthday.
Aww.
So fans were hyped up for that. He actually got a huge cheer as he was coming out onto practice field. And then fans actually were able to sing him happy birthday.
Oh, that's cute.
Like I mentioned, no pads on yet. So I think right now, still building a lot of chemistry between all the players, really ramping up into summer football.
We know you have only been there for one day, but what are early impressions of Mike McDaniel and the goober that is Jim Harbaugh?
Okay, so I didn't actually see them on the field together. I saw them, walking their respective areas. But I think there's a ton of excitement. Justin Herbert didn't talk today, but I listened to his press conference from the start of training camp, and there is just a ton of excitement for what this Chargers offense could be, and that is because of the scheme that Mike McDaniels is bringing. Obviously, he's coming over after spending the last 4 years as a head coach in Miami. He's really excited to work with Justin Herbert, and then Justin Herbert has also spoken a little bit, again, a few days ago, just talking about his, off-season work, which included just footwork and learning the Mike McDaniels system. So I think, again, this is just getting the live reps under their belt so they can really dive into everything once the pads come on.
Now, Herbert also had a very exciting offseason in terms of getting engaged to his now fiancée, Madison Beer. And all of the early camp presser and conversations and interviews with Justin Herbert, that was the first question everybody asked him. He talked about how he was more nervous about the proposal before than his first NFL start. He talked about how amazing it is having that kind of support system. And teammates were saying, oh, we're winning now. Have you heard anything else kind of surrounding Justin Herbert?
I think in general, everyone's just excited for him to take the next step, right? The next step in his life with Madison Beer, next step in his football career, next step with this new offensive coordinator, Mike McDaniel, coming into the building. I think everybody's just locked in. Like, really, there is a ton of chemistry between, Justin Herbert and his receivers. I think he's particularly excited about the speed that rookie Brennan Thompson is bringing. He's been singled out as a player to watch early in camp, and he's actually the player that I got to sit in on his press conference today. He's gotten a big nod from Justin Herbert. So I think, again, right now it's just let's build chemistry with all the new faces. Let's get back in the rhythm of football, and let's ramp up till we can get the pads on. That's really like the vibe. Lock in right now because, again, vibes are great at Chargers camp. I've only been here one day, but I think the Chargers fans were really hyped, and so was the team.
I want to hear more about that because there's Rams fans and there's Chargers fans, and they may get along, they may hate each other depending on from week to week. But are there any stark contrasts between how the Chargers fans incorporate themselves in practice versus how the Rams did?
I'm trying to think here. I would say Rams fans are a little bit more rambunctious. I will say that. I do think, obviously, with the Chargers having their roots in San Diego, moving over to Los Angeles, there's still like a spread of Chargers fans in Southern California, so they're not all concentrated here in Los Angeles. I think they're a little bit quieter, not because they're not hyped. They're just locked in like the team is.
Lindsay, before we let you go, what is the biggest storyline you're going to be watching at Chargers camp as it continues?
Yeah, so we talked about just how Mike McDaniel comes in, takes control of the offense, how Justin Herbert is able to really make that offense his own, but also the people up front that are going to be protecting Justin Herbert. Both of the Chargers' right and left tackles are coming off of injuries in 2025. They're back healthy, which is a good thing. But in that interior of the offensive line, there is going to be a lot of competition at both the right and left guard spots. So there's been a lot of different players filtering into that line in these first few days of camp. And obviously, you cannot have a successful offense if you don't have the guys up front in good standing and settled up and ready to go. So I think that's going to be just continue to be a huge, huge topic of conversation as training camp develops.
So much fun. Lindsay, we love having you on with all the insight at all the training camps. Keep up the great
You're
work.
The best.
We can't wait to hear what continues to go down at both Rams and Chargers training camps.
Excited to be here, and there will be plenty more check-ins coming, guys. Thank you.
Let's
Thank
go. Yeah.
The absolute greatest. Boots on the ground.
And I got to tell you, I mean, I'm biased. Well, no, because Rams are at LMU, so they're not that far apart right now.
Yeah.
But Chargers, the Bolt, is about a 10-minute drive door to door from my house in El Segundo.
Facility's
so
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
For those who don't know, yes, the Rams have practice at LMU, and the Chargers practices at their actual facility. There's limited room. The stands are smaller. It's still free, though. You just have to register online. I've actually had somebody reach out.
Sign up?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can still go to Chargers camp. There's a thinking that Chargers camp is only limited to season ticket holders and stuff like that. They get more access to things, but if you want to go watch the Chargers practice, you can. You just have to pre-register, but it is still free. There's a common misnomer that Chargers practice you can't go watch, Rams you can. You can go see the Chargers if you want to.
All right. We have our Dodgers starter for tonight, your boy, Justin Robleski.
Oh, let's go.
We should have known that. Why didn't I?
The more the merrier.
Yeah. So Robleski on the mound tonight for the Dodgers. You guys, first pitch at 5:05 at Wrigley Field. You have Shohei Ohtani leading off. Andy Pages batting second. Tommy Edman batting third. Freddie Freeman batting cleanup. Mookie Betts batting fifth. Kyle Tucker batting sixth. Teoscar Hernandez batting seventh. Kike Hernandez batting eighth. And then Alfonso Jr. Behind the plate batting ninth behind Justin Robleski. So if anybody can kind of turn the Dodgers' luck around, it's Robleski.
This is going to be a blast because the NL standings are a little tighter after getting swept by the Red Sox. The Brewers now have a half-game advantage over the Dodgers, but the Cubs are only 6.5 games behind the Brewers, and the Cubs are, assuming the Brewers continue to push as they made some aggressive trades, bringing in some pitching help behind Mizorowski. You expect business as usual for them, but the Cubs will be competing with whether it ends up being the Phillies or the Braves, who come out of the NL East for a wild card spot, and of course the Diamondbacks are 10 games behind the Dodgers, but still firmly in that wild card race. Padres only 1 game behind them. So the Cubs are going to bring it, and one name that always comes up is Pete Crow Armstrong, because he went on almost like a media tour this offseason just talking about how the Dodgers don't have real fans, and it's such a weird thing that he's doing because he's an LA kid. He went to Harvard Westlake. I don't know what he's doing, but to his credit, he does like to show out against the Dodgers. Maybe he just wanted to be a Dodger his whole life, and now
probably if you grew up in LA, right? You always kind of like, or whatever, wherever you grew up, the hometown team is usually what got you into falling in love with the sport, right?
Which is why it's so weird that he spent all offseason saying how the Dodgers don't have real fans and people don't show up.
The Dodgers have some of the greatest fans.
Statistically speaking, they have the most fans.
Yes.
They have the highest attendance from every MLB team. But again, PCA, to his credit, he talks a lot, but he does back it up. This dude can ball, and I expect a big emotional series out of him. But Robo's on the mound tonight. He's going to get it done.
And so exciting, you guys, because Tarik Skubal is scheduled to make his Dodgers debut tomorrow. So this is going to be a fun, I mean, if you are the Cubs starting lineup and you're looking at Robleski, who has been kind of like that. I mean, he's an all-star. He has been the number 2 behind Yamamoto this year for the Dodgers, to face Robleski. And then now you're getting Tarik Skubal.
Deal with it, Chicago.
Woo-wee! This is going to be fun, you guys.
I can't wait.
Dodgers turning things around tonight. Robleski on the mound, 5:05. First pitch at Wrigley. Thank you so much for spending your Monday midday in LA with us, but don't go anywhere. D-Mac and Reiter are coming up next.